Yes. No worries. Frist. Well, then good thing that I'm dressed as a potato. Cool. Hello, hello.
There we go. Had my mic turned off for a second. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening or day, depending on where you're from. Today is a special treat because we don't do this very often, but this is episode 2 of Next Level, where we get on the next level with some of our fellow streamers. Our guest tonight is Bishpuddin666. How are you doing, Bish? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay.
So yes, some of you guys may know Bish from a raid that we did a little bit ago. We've been kind of keeping in touch since then. For those of you who don't know, she has a very awesome community, very interactive. Your big thing for your channel is mental health, correct?
Yes.
Yes, big thing for mental health, and you actually have a whole day dedicated to it.
Yeah. So every Sunday, what we do is have a kind of an open forum chat. Sometimes I'll have a topic, sometimes I won't. And we focus on talking about our feelings in a way that doesn't really have a lot of filters on it.
That is really good. And I know we were talking before. Uh, would you mind explaining to everybody what some of the benefits of being a potato are?
So one I just think is cute, but also I like the ability to kind of um it kind of like makes everything feel a little less serious sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
uh and there's points in times where like you need to be serious,
Mm-hmm.
um but it takes a lot of the feeling that somebody's going to judge you or criticize you. And I think people listen a little bit more when you got like some stuff coming from a potato as opposed from some rando. You're like, oh man, this potato's got some wise stuff to say. I'm down to listen to this potato. And it also helps me. It helps me with sometimes I'm not feeling my best, and it kind of removes that pressure of a face cam when I'm streaming by having this like potato filter to kind of hide behind.
Yeah, and that's really good because I know there's a lot of times you might be having a rough day or something like that, and you're like, "Ugh, the last thing I want to do is go on stream looking like this."
Exactly. But I don't have to worry about that when I'm a potato.
And less makeup. All you gotta do is worry about your eyes and your lips.
Exactly.
Because potatoes are awesome. Yeah, potatoes are pretty good. You can make almost anything out of a potato.
I did dress up fancy. I brought my purse.
I know you got put on the good clothes for the interview. But yeah. So yeah, our guest Bishpuddin, we're going to have some fantastic conversation. We're gonna get kind of real tonight. So hope you guys enjoy. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into that first question.
Okay.
So, because we are game focused on Twitch for the most part, what is your favorite board game?
So, my favorite board game would probably be Clue, and not for necessarily the reasons you think. I had I had like there's like an inside joke with like my siblings, and I guess it's kind of gross, but yeah, we just thought it was the funniest thing to say. Like he did it in the kitchen with the rope. Like I don't know, like it was provocative. We were like, oh, he did it with the wrench in the study. Like I don't know, we just thought it was funny, but we were also gross and we were kids, so I
I
don't know.
I don't know. So you're the second person that went the provocative route on board games. My last guest, he said that his wife leaned over and said that she would do some extracurriculars if he let her win. I think it was Life or something like that. No, it was Monopoly. It was a really competitive game of Monopoly.
Yes.
Oh man. Thank you for the sub, Miria. Hope you're having an awesome night. But
I don't know. We were kids. We were gross, and I didn't play very many board games. I mean, I like Monopoly. I'm a money hungry bitch sometimes, and playing Monopoly is always a go to. Um, my most favorite board game now as an adult is probably Cards Against Humanity, but there's no
Oh
boards
man.
involved.
There's no, I
So
mean, you can make boards.
I guess you could for no reason. You don't need them.
Oh man, Cards Against Humanity gets that one gets rough. My little sister found out so many random things that she did not know existed from Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think that was the funniest one. But yeah, so Clue because he did it in the study with a candlestick. Oh man. Uh, what other board games kind of call out to you in your childhood?
Um, well, so I grew up in a really religious like background, so
Mm-hmm.
we played a lot of dumb board games y'all probably never heard of. But my grandma once when I was a kid, she actually made a board game because we were fat, and she thought she would teach us about sodium by making us play a board game reminiscent of Monopoly but with salt.
With salt.
And her goal was just not to have cardiac arrest.
Oh man. Your grandma sounds really inventive and very creative.
My grandma was really creative, but
Not
she
gonna lie, that actually sounds like a fun game. Don't die.
yeah, basically it is. She went all out. She like made little pieces and everything, but these were like the board games I played in my youth. And it
Oh
was
man,
just it was the
that
worst.
that is
Because
that's
nobody wants to
crazy.
come over for a sleepover and play Don't Get Cardiac Arrest.
Oh man, I was not expecting that one. That was a good. You threw me through a loop on that one. But all right, let's go ahead. Let's move on to the next one. Favorite video game.
So my
So
favorite video game is Destiny 2.
okay, I'll
I'm sorry
hit
about
you.
the dogs.
Yeah, that's no problem. I'll hit you with a two-parter. Favorite video game now, which you already answered, I guess. But favorite video game of all times.
Well, I wasn't really allowed to play video games when I was younger. Sorry about my dogs. They're gonna bark. They do this, even on my own channel. They have no concept of the live.
They have no chill.
They have no chill. Oliver Jim. So I was really allowed to play video games when I was younger. I got my very first console when I was 17. I got my very first console when I was 17. Played my very first video game, which was Destiny 2.
Oh.
Or well, Destiny 1. Sorry, Destiny 1. And that was the only video game I even knew how to play or could play.
Oh.
So I've slowly over time through streaming have been introduced to a whole world of video games. And it's still my favorite. The whole Destiny franchise is probably my favorite.
That's pretty cool. What about Destiny? What about Destiny makes it your favorite?
I really like the whole like sense of community part of it.
Mm-hmm.
All about like your clans and you have to have 6 people to do a raid, and you better buckle in because it's gonna be like 7 hours if nobody's done it before. And you have to work together as a team. I just really liked the whole sense of community I found with the game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it was, I have ADHD and I don't really like playing games like Minecraft or like things that I have to make my own fun or like puzzles.
You have to make your own fun.
I'm not good at platforming at all. And so a shooty game that lets me laugh and joke around with my friends is just right up my alley.
Yeah, I know when I play Minecraft, it starts off as I'm gonna do so much. I'm gonna build a giant castle, and I lay the foundation. I go, okay, I'm bored. But yeah, I definitely see having a good shooter game where you get to joke around and have fun, because I know I always enjoy it when I jump on games like that. So, is Destiny 2 cross-plat?
It is now.
Ooh, we might have to jump into some Destiny 2 later on.
I like the cross-plat aspect of it, but ask anybody who takes the game seriously and they're upset. So they're like, no PC players playing with me against me in trials, but whatever.
But yeah, I mean, having that cross-plat ability that lets you grow that in-game community and have some fun with people that you probably wouldn't otherwise.
No, for sure. Definitely lets you, especially with streaming. A lot of people used to put like, oh, I'm playing on PC or I'm
Mm-hmm.
playing on Xbox or PlayStation, and they would only look for streamers with that particular like tag.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since that's kind of eliminated, and I've met so many more streamers. One of my really close friends on Twitch, actually is just a he's a partner streamer who does
Oh wow.
Destiny on PC.
Mm.
So we play sometimes, and it's nice to be able to play with him since he's on PC instead of on like PlayStation.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. That's a lot of fun. So yeah. Yeah, I think that basically sums up this question. I was trying to see if I had any follow-ups, but I think we answered it all. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
God, I wish this was a
All
test. I'd be doing
right.
so good.
All right. So I know I talked to you a little bit before, and you said you're a big Disney buff. I'm
Yeah,
gonna hit you with a
huge.
hard question.
Oh,
Okay.
don't come for my brain. Yeah.
What is your one single most favorite Disney song? You gotta pick one.
My favorite Disney song of all time would have to come from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. God help the outcasts.
Mm. I don't remember much about Hunchback. I haven't seen it in a while.
So it was actually the first Disney movie that had an on like movie death. You
Oh, I
saw the
remember that.
Hunchback's mother
Yeah.
die. Oh, right before your tiny little undeveloped brain eyes. Like you're young
Scarring
and
the
you're
kids.
watching this like genocide of individuals. It was like the only movie that really incorporated um themes like the Catholic Church,
Mm-hmm.
God and stuff, which it's crazy because if you were to watch The Hunchback of Notre Dame as an adult, like really watch it,
Mm-hmm.
go back and watch it, you're like, this is not a kid's movie. And God Help the Outcasts is a song that Esmeralda sings in the church after
Mm-hmm.
she's been, she claims sanctuary,
Mm-hmm.
which keeps them from dragging her out of the church.
Yeah.
Um, and she's asking God, like, if you were such an outcast, then, nobody liked you, then
Mm-hmm.
why don't you help us since nobody likes us?
Mm.
And you've got all these white people around her asking for wealth and fame and money and
Mm.
riches, and uh you've got these people, these marginalized people asking just to exist, and that's a big deal, especially for a movie, and especially coming out in that time, having people of color on screen
Mm-hmm.
watching this as a kid and saying, like, you shouldn't treat people that way,
Yeah.
and that's a big deal. And so I really liked that song. It makes me cry every time.
So would you say Hunchback is your favorite movie as well?
No, I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie, but I would say it's the most underrated, I think, of all
Mm.
the Disney movies.
Yeah.
I think that it has fantastic music. They incorporated, traditional like composition of like Catholic cathedral
Mm-hmm.
songs, choirs, and they made a really beautiful musical out of it, and it just has phenomenal music. My favorite Disney movie of all time is actually pretty recent, and it is the it's
Skill, great music except for the gargoyles.
yeah. Well, I thought the gargoyles did great. I thought that. So
Favorite movie.
my favorite movie. Sorry,
You're
my
okay.
brain. My brain like freaked out for a second. I cannot express to you
Favorite movie.
favorite movie. Sorry.
You're okay.
Sorry, my brain, it freaks out. Okay, it's called Onward.
Oh yeah, I love Onward. That's a great one.
Yeah. When I watched it, I sobbed. I sobbed. I cried. I laughed. Um, it was the first movie I had ever seen that Disney did, and they came out with a concept of like this really great stepdad,
Mm-hmm.
like a family unit that works
Mm-hmm.
very well after like a like a death or a divorce or
Mm-hmm.
something. You see traditionally in Disney movies, the stepmother is a horrible person,
Yeah.
or like the person they go to live with after their parents die is awful or
Yeah.
something like that, right? But this time it doesn't villainize those characters.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the mom a really great mom. The
Mm-hmm.
stepdad's really awesome, very relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they're just trying to figure out the parenting thing. But then you
Yeah.
have these two wonderful characters, these two kids, and they lose their dad, one before he was even born.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, his dad dies of like cancer,
Yeah.
which is a crazy relatable topic. I've had a loved one die from cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Not a parent, but I've had a loved one die from cancer. So it's something that a lot of people can relate to that
Mm-hmm.
you don't really see in kids movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you've got this whole dynamic, and I'm gonna spoil it for some of y'all if you haven't seen the movie.
It's been
The
out for a
whole
minute.
right, you guys should have watched it by now. The whole thing is this kid so desperately wants this, like, to see his dad. The whole
Mm-hmm.
thing is he gets the ability to see his dad one time in his life at 16,
Mm-hmm.
thanks to magic, by being able to summon his dad back. And they do a bad job, and only his pants come back, his butt.
Yeah.
And I
They
think it's a funny
they
concept.
played off of that so much in that movie too. There's so many funny scenes where like the dad almost walks off a cliff and they catch the upper body and the lower body keeps going.
Exactly, because it's just his bottom half. And through the whole thing you learn that, like, well, the oldest brother, he was alive while the dad was alive,
Yeah.
and he didn't get a chance to say goodbye because he was scared of the cancer. He
Yeah.
was like little,
Mhm.
and he loved his dad so much he never really got that closure because he was too
Yeah.
afraid to see his dad like hooked up to all those machines. And in the final parts of the movie, they're like fighting this dragon because they have to. Don't ask me why, I don't remember exactly, but
D&D.
they're fighting this dragon, and only one of them gets a second to slip away and actually say something to their father, who they
Mhm.
finally summon the rest of. And his younger brother realizes throughout this whole journey that he had a strong male role model his whole life
Yeah.
that he looked up to, which was his older brother. So he felt like it was okay to let his older brother, who had this regret of not being able to say to his strong male role model that I love you and that I miss you, and that, all this stuff that he didn't get to say when he was alive. So he lets his older brother go do that, and he comes back and he's like, Dad saw you fighting the dragon and he's so proud of you. I'm tearing up just thinking about it because it's just such a pretty movie. It's so good. Y'all go watch it. I'm gonna cry. Don't ask me. I can't. But it hits so many levels: grief,
Oh yeah.
uh, parents, different relationships with parents,
Mhm.
all kinds of stuff. It was crazy.
Yeah,
It is such a good movie.
that
So
movie
well
hits
written.
that movie hits so many levels.
And I just think they did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
a Disney connoisseur. I'm obsessed.
Okay, Disney connoisseur. Next question. What Disney character do you identify as?
Um. Oh geez.
We're getting on that next level.
Oh geez. What do I identify as? I've always I've always really kind of gravitated towards the, I don't know, the plus size Disney characters. I guess I myself am plus size. The comfiness of Mrs. Potts was always one of my favorites. I
I
guess
I don't even know why I didn't even think about Mrs. Potts as a plus size character until just now.
Really?
I just always
I
picture like it's just the mama teapot. I never even like would think of her as plus size. But it's true though, because when they
Well,
go
when she
back to
becomes
human,
human,
that she is
she's
plus
chubby.
size. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I did not even register until now.
You forgot that Mrs. Potts was plus
You're
size.
blowing
She's
my
like, it's
mind.
okay. She's just a thick pot. She's just a thick pot.
She's a
Um,
thick pot.
she's a thick pot. I don't know. The Little Mermaid. I have a tattoo of that. Having a bunch of sisters and everything like that. I'm the oldest of 7. I know the Little Mermaid was the youngest, but
Mm-hmm.
having a bunch of sisters and
Mm-hmm.
my dad kind of, you know, uh, he wasn't the ruler of Atlantis, but he was the pastor of a church, and music was like our thing. So I think I've always kind of really enjoyed the Little Mermaid tale.
So you're like a hybrid of Mrs. Potts and Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Nice.
If that's gonna be a thing. The Little Mermaid pot.
Actually, wasn't there a I don't remember what movie it was in, but oh no, I don't remember. Wasn't there a there was a Beauty and the Beast Easter egg in one of the other princess movies? I don't remember which one it was. I want to say it was Little Mermaid. It wasn't Mrs. Potts, but it was Chip. Chip was in something.
I think Chip was in the Little Mermaid.
I think it was Little Mermaid. I think he was one of her doodads.
Yeah.
Okay, let's kind of flip it a little bit and get a little bit more villainous. What is your favorite Disney villain?
Ursula for sure.
Ursula. Why
Without
Ursula?
hesitation. Well, one, I think Ursula just has this I think she's just got this really beautiful aesthetic. The whole purples and red and
Mm-hmm.
green, and she's plus size. Love me a plus size queen. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I love me a plus size queen. Her song "Poor Unfortunate Souls," fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
She was cutthroat. She was
She
a
was
strong woman
cutthroat.
who was gonna get what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, her we haven't seen the Ursula villain story revamped, but she wasn't really much of a villain if you think about it. She's kind
She was
of
like one of those outcasts, and she just wanted her cut.
exactly.
Yeah.
She was technically King Trident's sister
Mm.
and kind of outcasted.
Yeah.
Witchcraft. Nobody likes a strong female. We got to keep them down.
Yeah.
And she did what she said she was gonna do. She gave her legs.
Mm-hmm. She did. I mean,
It's not her fault that men are weak and wanted to murder her and wanted to marry her instead of Ariel. He did not put 2 and 2 together. It's not her fault.
Well, and one thing, and I was thinking about it one day. Almost all the Disney villains have something that humanizes them to a degree. Like when you look at it, like Ursula, just kind of wanting her fair cut, stuff like that. I mean, there's so many stories like that in all the villains, except for Cruella de Vil.
Well, have you not seen the new Cruella de Vil movie?
So, with the exception of the new movie where they actually did give her a backstory and all that stuff, but the original animated Cruella de Vil, all she wanted to do was murder them puppies.
Well, she wanted to do that for a coat.
Yeah.
And I guess it depends on. I'm a dog person, so I get like not wanting to hurt dogs, right? I'm not. But to play devil's advocate, if you only see animals as a thing to use, was she really a villain for wanting to turn them into a coat? I'm not saying that I would turn dogs into coats. But I mean, you use sheeps and everything else like that. She was just a rich lady who wanted what she wanted, and she didn't see them, I don't think, as like animals. She saw them as a source of fur. So, if you see it as livestock theft, it's like less. She's just, if anything,
I
her
like how
crime
it's
was fashion.
her hashtag crime is fashion.
So
Oh
I
man.
mean,
Oh man. I'm still on that soapbox though. Cruella DeVille was straight up evil.
I don't know. I don't know. They gave her a backstory. She's not.
Oh, so
She's fabulous.
one thing, a little bit of a backpedal. Kong pushed in the chat, and I'll ask you this question because it's a good question. What is your favorite meme?
My favorite meme.
Yeah, because
Oh
Kong's like
goodness.
that's a
Okay.
hard one, so I was like, ooh, that is a good one.
I think my favorite. Okay, so I was obsessed with that one with the astronauts where they're looking at Earth and they're like, it's always been this, or it's only ever whatever the
Mm-hmm.
meme was. And then it's like, always has been. And he's got like a gun to his head. You know the ones I'm talking about?
Oh, I don't remember that template.
Okay, let me show you. Let me show you. I don't know if
Are you throwing it in the
what's
Discord?
I was gonna share my screen on
Oh, okay, that works. You
Oh,
probably
you
got like.
disabled it. You've disabled it.
Oh, okay. If you want to throw it, if
I'll just
actually
throw it in the
you're
Discord.
yeah you're in my Discord, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to throw it in the meme section on my Discord.
Sorry, I was looking up still. It always has been memes.
Skill,
There's
how dare
so
you disable her creative freedom?
exactly.
I didn't even.
All right, I'm throwing it up in the Cal
Okay.
server. And you want me to put it in memes. So here is. I also really like the what is that person called? The TikTok one where she's like, it came from her trying that kombucha, and she tries it at first, and it's gross, and then she tries again. She's like, that's pretty good. That's the I like that meme too.
Real quick.
Here's this one. It's a offense
For
crossover.
for those of you new to my channel, here is the link to my Discord if you want to join it.
Thank you for lurking, Zal.
I have. Oh, Office quote too. Shout out to the Office.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wait, Jim is Asian? Always has been.
I have never seen that template before now, and I love it. I'm in love with it. And they even got the Dunder Mifflin on the the shoulders.
The shoulders, yeah. It's great.
Oh man! Shout out to that prank. That prank was hysterical. The Asian Jim prank was freaking funny.
Let me see if I can find another one that's like more like a planet instead of like an office one.
Oh man!
But they did so many. It was so good.
It's an awesome template.
And you know how memes go. They like grow and and change. But anyways, yeah, that's probably my favorite meme. It's pretty good.
Did you put another one in there?
I'm putting it in right now.
Okay. Oh man. You gotta love technology where you can share memes live on stream.
Right? It's like, wait, it's all Japanese traditional art.
Oh man.
Japanese. One assumes it says always has been,
always
but it says Japanese.
Oh man. All right. So, favorite Disney villain, getting back on topic. Favorite Disney villain, Ursula.
Ursula for sure.
Definitely. Awesome. That is cool to know. If I remember correctly. Okay. So, after this one, we're going to get into some of the serious topics. So, get your potato face on. But before that, why did you start streaming?
So yeah, I started streaming during the pandemic, which I
Mm.
think a lot of people did.
Yeah, I think there was a big boom of streamers.
A big boom because we finally had a bunch of time on our hands, and those of us who had always been wanting to do that sort of thing now found time to do it. Um, I have always been a big part of like the gaming community.
Hmm.
I had never actually watched a Twitch stream prior to streaming.
Oh wow.
My friend would stream very casually while we would play. Um, and our gaming sessions always kind of just turned into chat sessions,
Hmm.
like health chats,
Yeah.
because I leaned a lot on my friend group that I'd made within the gaming community to deal with my mental health.
Hmm.
Um, it was really thanks to them that I had gotten a lot better. I had really been struggling with depression after like an incident,
Hmm.
and it was the one thing that like got me out of bed and got me looking forward to like my day, got me really interacting with human beings again in general. So I found that, we often use video games as a means to escape
Hmm.
the harsh realities of like life sometimes.
Hmm.
But then when you're in that space, a lot of times the only thing you can talk about are those things you're trying to avoid.
Yeah. Well, and
So,
playing a game while talking about something like that is a way to get that off your chest and get what's bugging you off your chest without having to solely focus on just it. Where you have like you could potentially have like that breakdown, or you close up and you don't want to talk about it. You have something that you're doing, something that's fun and entertaining, and kind of bridges that gap a little bit.
oh, a lot. It's very gaming already is very therapeutic. So you
Mm-hmm.
add that like element of talk therapy in there. It's very
Mm-hmm.
nice. And it wasn't just for me. Like these chat sessions kind of became like something that all my friends really like relied on and helped. So somebody said, well, why don't you stream? Why don't you do like your own stuff? And I'd always kind of really looked up to YouTubers and things like that. I wanted to make video games that had to deal with mental health anyway. So I thought that streaming would be a good way to kind of get my foot in the door
Mm-hmm.
of like learning more about the gaming community, and what are like the games out there that are really like drawing people's
Yeah.
attention, and um how could I like kind of boost my popularity in a way that when I release video games and stuff in the
Mm-hmm.
future, it would have some traction or have some
Yeah.
ground with it. And so that's kind of where I've been focusing on, is kind of just establishing a community of like-minded individuals who also find gaming to be therapeutic.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely can see that. And starting on Twitch, getting that community going. So and then potentially even in the future when you're working on that game, doing devlogs on stream. Hey, this is where we're at right now. Check out this new
Right.
artwork. Check out this soundtrack that we got going, and stuff like that. And getting everybody hyped up for that eventual release.
And featuring it on my own live
Hmm.
streams.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So it's a hobby right now, but someday it's going to be really hand in hand with what I want to do long term, which is, developing these video games
Hmm.
that have to deal with, the treatment and diagnosis of different mental health
Hmm.
um, areas, and featuring that in my content.
That's really cool. That actually kind of brings me into our next set of questions. So here's the heavy one. Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with a mental illness or disorder?
Yeah. So I come from um, a family that has a lot of mental health problems.
Mm-hmm.
I have a sister who has dissociative identity disorder, formerly known as multiple
Mm-hmm.
personality disorder. My father has bipolar disorder. My mother was diagnosed with depression when I was really young. I have a sister with OCD. Um, and then I have a little brother with nonverbal autism. And I have another little sister who has autism.
Oh wow.
And then my personal diagnoses are depression and anxiety, as well as ADHD.
Mm. Oh wow.
Um, which depression and anxiety tend to be symptoms of ADHD.
Mm.
Reason I was kind of diagnosed with depression first is because in females, it's really hard to be diagnosed with ADHD at a young age. And a symptom tends to kind of materialize as
Mm.
depression.
So what
So
makes
there,
what makes it so difficult to diagnose uh, young women with ADHD?
well, because it's called mirroring.
Mm-hmm.
So societal like expectations of the of ADHD is like rowdy young boys who
Mm-hmm.
can't sit still,
Yeah.
who are, just bouncing around all over the place, unable to focus on anything. That's kind of like the perception of what people think ADHD is.
Yeah.
But in reality, a lot of times girls are societally expected to be quiet.
Mm.
So that societal pressure keeps a lot of girls from being that like jokester in the classroom
Mm.
who's throwing their pencils everywhere and being loud and obnoxious. And the symptoms for them materialize as drawing in their notebooks while they
Mm-hmm.
should be paying attention to class, or daydreaming,
Mm-hmm.
not focused on what's going on in the classroom. And so a lot of times we mirror what's expected of us, or
Mm-hmm.
what's considered normal, and a lot of um, females who have ADHD tend to be really good at masking their
Mm.
symptoms because it's not societally acceptable to be loud.
Wow.
And there's a lot of gender bias with
Mm-hmm.
diagnosing people with ADHD. There's a really interesting video on YouTube, and they don't tell you who has ADHD, and they sit this little boy and little girl in front of you, and they ask you they ask them questions,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the end they're like, who has ADHD? And the little girl does.
Oh wow.
But if you were going to go off of like who's loud and not paying attention,
Mm-hmm.
it would be the little boy.
Yeah.
So there's why a lot of women have trouble getting diagnosed with ADHD.
Oh wow. Um, so society plays a or societal expectations, I should say. Ah, shush. Societal expectations play a big role in diagnoses.
Yeah, especially when the science is really like gender biased.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's not a lot of study of ADHD in women as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to like the masses
Mm-hmm.
of information they have collected where the research subject was boys. Now, I'm not saying that's not true
Mm-hmm.
anymore as it's like progressed, but that's something that's currently being acknowledged, whereas I'm 27.
Yeah.
And so 27 years
Yeah.
ago, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are, you see commercials for it, I think now.
Mm-hmm.
You're um you see commercials of, because it's such a problem and they're
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging it's a problem. It's like, do you do all these things? And it's like, you might be an adult woman with ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
Go to this website and talk to your doctor about it, because
Mm-hmm.
they didn't diagnose so many young girls
Yeah.
with ADHD.
So with the general social acceptance getting better nowadays, um, with like people being more accepting of people from different backgrounds, race, religion, gender preference, all that stuff. Do you see that getting helping the diagnoses?
Absolutely. I think that it has a long way to go still,
Mm-hmm.
especially now with like science acknowledging people who are trans,
Mm-hmm.
and people who are non-binary. There's not a lot of studies including, how their mental health is affected by things, and how those symptoms and things show up in them, and not just talking about ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Um, even like, relationship studies.
Mm-hmm.
And, we've kind of ignored a whole group of people because it's like, we don't want to talk about it, so we're
Mm-hmm.
not going to.
Yeah.
And so focusing on all genders as opposed to focusing on like just two
Yeah.
is really important.
Well, I know I'm part of a few different communities, and the community I'm part of are vast in their members, and we have tons of like trans or non-binary. We have like everybody of every different backgrounds, and hearing some of their stories and some of the stuff that they went through, and some of the stuff that's common for those communities, they themselves end up developing a lot of mental illness or disorders from just dealing with keeping that in for so long and all that, and a lot of them end up having like depression and stuff like that from it. So I think definitely with society being a lot more accepting now, I think that's definitely going to help them and help get them the treatment that they need.
Right. And it's kind of like it's been ignored so long because
Mm-hmm.
psychology wants to be considered a science.
Yeah.
And what's hard is being able to prove on a science level right now, and I'm sure we probably can in the future, and
Mm-hmm.
our technology isn't like that.
Yeah.
But being able to say like, yeah, this person is male and they were born in a body that's by their the chemical makeup, their code is
Mm-hmm.
female, sure, but they're male. And
Mm-hmm.
psychology can't explain that right now.
Yeah.
So they don't want to be considered like a pseudoscience. So because it's something they can't explain, they just ignore it. And so, studying it and learning more about it and then being able to actually like test it and
Mm-hmm.
prove it would make it go a long way.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Let's go ahead and move on to the next question before we start getting all the answers for the other ones. Okay, so this one is medication versus lifestyle changes. So, what are some of the pros and cons of using prescriptions to combat mental illness or disorders versus changing your lifestyle to help ease it in? What are some of the pros and cons for both?
Well, I think that with medicine,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like the hesitation for doing it is there's a stigma around medicine.
Mm-hmm.
People want to think of it as like a last resort
Mm-hmm.
or something that requires somebody who's too lazy or weak to fix what's wrong with themselves
Mm-hmm.
on their own. And that's simply not the case. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of the things that happen to us, um, that, when we have depression or something and we have to take medicine for it, it's about a chemical makeup in your brain. And it's very hard to change how your brain produces those chemicals. And sometimes our brains are just wired differently. And we have to accept help when we need it,
Yeah.
and breaking away from that stigma of medicine. Now there's side effects, just like with anything. Some people can't take medicine because of the side effects. And some people, the side effects are undesirable.
Mm-hmm.
Taking Adderall for ADHD, it wears down your teeth.
I did not know
You'll
that.
lose your teeth. Yeah, it's really bad for your teeth. One thing that a dentist would want to know is, do you take medicine for your ADHD?
Mm-hmm.
And it'll weaken the enamel of your teeth. Um, so there's pros and cons with medicine, but I think
Mm-hmm.
the benefits, if you really need it, outweigh the risk factors.
Yeah.
Now, like if you take an antidepressant or something, you don't have to be on it for forever.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it can be that little push that helps you get, making healthier changes in your
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle, to where when you get to a point where you feel like you're able to function in a way
Mm-hmm.
that will continue to help you um, feel safe and
Mm-hmm.
happy, you might be able to stop taking it.
Yeah.
What sucks with depression and stuff like that is that it causes behavioral changes,
Yeah.
but then those behavioral changes become an increased source to your depression,
Mm.
i.e., having depression causes you to tend to slack on your self-care.
Mm-hmm.
But then you feel even more like a piece of shit because you're not showering
Yeah.
and you're not cleaning your room, and you're having a hard time, doing your laundry and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Well, but when you do those things, you feel better. And one way to like get better is by doing those
Mm-hmm.
things. But it's really hard to do. So it's like this vicious cycle, right?
Yeah.
So behavioral changes are a symptom but also a cure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of, and not saying you can cure depression, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is it'll help boost your mood and things.
Mm-hmm.
I have depression, and it's really hard sometimes to do basic self-care,
Mm-hmm.
basic adulting things.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we like to use in um people who have neurodivergence
Mm-hmm.
and are trying to explain it to people who don't have it, it's
Mm-hmm.
called the spoon theory,
Mm-hmm.
or the spoon method. And imagine, you have 10 spoons,
Mm-hmm.
and they came up with spoons because I think somebody a long time ago was explaining this like over dinner to their parents and they didn't understand. And they're like, imagine you have 10 spoons to spend for your whole day.
Mm-hmm.
And normally people have 40 spoons, but you only have 10.
Yeah.
And making dinner costs 4 spoons, and getting out of bed costs 3 spoons, and
Mm-hmm.
brushing your teeth is 2 spoons, and going to work is 5 spoons. And then at the end of the day, you've used all your spoons and you still got a bunch of stuff to do, and you can't do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, um, having depression makes things very hard to do sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but it's pushing ourselves to do those things that sometimes we can do on our own, but sometimes we need medicine for.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it goes hand in hand.
Yeah. So, what are some big like lifestyle changes that somebody could do in lieu of medication to try and help get those extra spoons in their pocket, if you will?
Um, I think one thing is like being more mindful of like triggers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that being in a certain situation or environment is going to lower your mood, or being around
Mm-hmm.
a certain person is going to lower your mood, acknowledging that and making changes to prevent that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're struggling with doing something, creating a mantra is really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Saying over to yourself, over and over again to yourself, I'm going to give today 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Just today.
Yeah.
Just today, I'm going to give 100%. And just keep saying that. Every time
Mm-hmm.
you feel like, I'm too tired, I can't do it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it 100%. I'm going to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of focusing it on task by task,
Mm-hmm.
not taking it as a whole, and then being more patient with yourself. Saying that, well, I gave today 100% and I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done, but I still have tomorrow. And
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow I'm going to give it 100% too. And you'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I struggled with some of that. This last week I talked to my therapist, and he was like, "Well, can you just try a little bit harder?" And I was like, "Huh. I guess I could." I guess, like, I don't feel like it, but I
Mm-hmm.
guess, you're physically capable of doing it even though you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And you have that same energy or capability of doing it. If you used to do it, you probably still have that same ability to do it. You just don't have the motivation or don't
Yeah.
feel like it because depression like sucks it out of you.
Yeah.
And so journaling, having a mantra, having a focus, being mindful
Mm-hmm.
is really important. And then above all, being patient with yourself and, celebrating those little victories. Even though I didn't get it all done today, I got some of it done. And that's more than I got done yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep doing more tomorrow.
That's really good, and I think that's good. Um, I think that's good for even people who aren't suffering from a illness or a disorder. Just keep that in the back of your mind, like, hey, just give it your 100%.
or whatever percent you think you
or yeah,
can give.
whatever percent you think you can give at that time. Yeah, I think that's really good. And then one more question on this. So I know you mentioned that your sister has a DID. If you mind sharing, how does she go about her daily life? Because I know that one that's a tough one to try and handle. So how does she kind of combat that?
So basically, my sister, her symptoms of dissociative identity disorder have kind of all but subsided thanks to medication.
Okay.
For the longest time, she was struggling with figuring out her medication.
Mm-hmm.
She was hospitalized and she was in a treatment center for like the last 4 years of her life.
Oh wow.
And in being in there because she was a threat to herself and others.
Mm-hmm.
And until she was able to get to a position where she uh basically I don't know the right word for it, but she wasn't symptomatic anymore. It doesn't cure her, but you know, it kind of like suppresses those like she had a lot of therapy and she
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of medicine. It kind of sedates that part of her brain. And it's not great. She's not high functioning, but she's able to live at home with my parents,
Mm-hmm.
and she's able to function in a way. She's on disability
Mm-hmm.
for her whole life. So she doesn't work or anything, and she
Yeah.
just kind of keeps to herself, and she she struggles sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but overall you wouldn't be able to tell.
Oh wow. So definitely went the medication route to try and suppress it to the best she can. So she's as functional as she can be
But she also had a lot of therapy
in
too.
therapy. Yeah,
So
yeah.
um it has a lot to do with dissociative identity disorder is born out of trauma. I don't know
Mm,
a lot of her backstory or you know what's going on,
mm,
but that's um with dissociative identity disorder, you can't necessarily cure it, but if you address those traumas and with medication and stuff, you can definitely make it more manageable. And she's definitely at a point where it's manageable.
well, that is good to hear. Hopefully she keeps doing good and all that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next question. All right. So this is a long one. What resources would you
Okay.
recommend to someone suffering from a mental illness or disorder?
Therapy. Even if you don't have a mental disorder. Talk to somebody, goddamn it. That's the first one. Um
I
because
can see you moving your fingers and stuff occasionally. Like jump. Oh, it's a pen. You're waving a pen at us.
yes. Yeah, talk to somebody. um Everybody needs to see a therapist.
Mm,
Everybody. Whether you have a diagnosis or not, it's important for your psyche to be able to sit there with somebody who's, you know, they have no dog in any fight. They
mm,
just want to. They're just somebody to bounce ideas off of, to clear your thoughts, to be validated and heard.
mm,
So it's a great resource. Second, I think that, you know, creating a good social system
mm,
and knowing the appropriate dialogue to have with somebody.
mm,
Don't just trauma dump on your friends. It's not going to go well.
mm,
Don't come to your friends and constantly just vent to them without asking consent. It's a big deal because it takes a lot
mm.
to listen to people's problems. They're not saying they don't want to listen to your
Yeah.
problems, but asking them, be like, hey, can I talk to you about something? And if it's not a good time, I totally
Mm,
understand. That's a great way of saying, like, hey, I need to talk about something important, but I understand that if you can't talk about it, with
Yeah.
me, I'll respect those boundaries.
Well, and being on the receiving end, you have to be in the right mindset yourself in order to help somebody and truly listen. Yeah, yeah, you may care and because it's your friend and stuff, you may care, but you yourself either A might be going through something and you just don't want to deal with additional, or B because like a lot of these are conversations that you actually need to sit down and have and actually dedicate time to it where you're not distracted by one thing or another so you can actually listen the way that your friend needs.
Exactly. And it's 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 just really important to make sure that there's like that consent there,
Mm-hmm.
because people, it can really put a strain on relationships if you don't ask first.
Yeah.
um just because I know from personal experience, sometimes friends just they need somebody to talk to too,
Yeah.
and they might not be in a good space. And,
Mm-hmm.
but having a good social system where you have a clear communication and you also tell them, like, hey, I'm struggling, and
Mm-hmm.
having people that you can talk to that you feel safe around is really important.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing would be, doing journaling.
Yeah.
And not saying you have to journal every day, but when you feel that really high pressure of emotions,
Mm-hmm.
writing down everything that you want to say,
Mm-hmm.
everything, even the bad stuff, write
Mm-hmm.
down all of it. Just pour it out on the page. Just tell them everything. And then once those emotions have kind of calmed down a little
Mm-hmm.
bit and they've subsided, going back and reading that journal entry and then responding.
Mm-hmm. So kind of
And by responding, kind of like
having that
reading it
conversation
as,
with yourself.
mm-hmm, reading that journal entry as if maybe it's your first time reading it,
Mm-hmm.
or a friend said it to you, and responding with what you would tell that person, tell
Uh,
somebody that you cared about, how what you would tell
mm-hmm.
that person if they came to you and told you those things.
Mm-hmm.
And just validating yourself, caring about
Mm-hmm.
yourself, being kind to yourself, and being your own friend. I think that's a really great way of, even if you don't want to talk to anybody about your problems, maybe you don't want to talk to a
Mm-hmm.
therapist, you don't want to talk to a friend, but being there for yourself, that's
Mm-hmm.
something you can do too.
That's actually really good. I've never heard of that particular journaling method before. That sounds really effective.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you have to sit there and journal all the time or journal every day, but sitting there, when you are at that height of emotion, when you're like,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to punch you in the face,
Mm-hmm.
and so you sit there, and maybe it's a note on your phone, maybe it's just a piece of paper you grab, write down everything. I
Mm-hmm.
hate them, they're awful. Put all your negative thoughts out there, and then when you're calmed down enough, when the tears have stopped, when you're not going to punch a wall, sit there with that note and imagine that a friend just came to you and told you these
Mm-hmm.
things, or that it's just some random person's and respond to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great way of just kind of having your own back.
That's actually
Self-care.
really good. Yeah, self care is very important. So, I kind of have a question, uh, building off that. What self care do you recommend for streamers?
Oh goodness.
Mm-hmm.
First off, same kind of like concept. Have a social circle of other streamers that you're friends with, and not like the raid me and I'll raid you kind of friends,
Yeah.
but just like genuine people that you enjoy playing games with. You can talk about streaming stuff with a group of
Mm-hmm.
people you feel safe with. That's always great to have. A social circle that supports you is great. Um, Another thing would be to put limits on things. It's
Mm-hmm.
very easy for us to, I think when I first started streaming, I mean, from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, I was watching streams,
Yeah.
whether it be rewatching my own content to
Mm-hmm.
clip it or edit it, or watching my friends, because you meet hundreds of people
Yeah.
and you kind of have to have those boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
It I didn't have those boundaries when I first started, and it was very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly feeling like a bad person because you missed somebody's stream or
Yeah.
something like that. Realizing that you're not going to make every stream, you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to watch everybody's stuff, and doing it when you can in a healthy amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be in front of a computer or screen all day. And it's very easy for us to be that way.
Yeah.
Also, things like turning off the numbers and not being obsessed
Oh
with
man.
our
Yes.
our like viewership,
Mm-hmm.
or in any form of social media,
Yeah.
really, whether you're a streamer or not,
Mm-hmm.
constantly looking to see how many likes you get on a post,
Yeah.
or how many people retweeted your tweet.
Yeah.
It's nice when it's a big number,
Mm-hmm.
and it really feels like it gives you that boost.
Yeah.
But then when it's not very high, you feel like you've done something wrong, and but that's not true.
Yeah.
It's really just an algorithm,
Yeah.
and it's just a whole bunch of shenanigans, and it's okay. It doesn't validate you, or make your worth any higher than it was
Mm-hmm.
yesterday. It's just it's not something that you should feel reflects you as a person.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I know because I'm still relatively new. I think I've lost track. I've been streaming for like a couple few months now. But I know uh that grind for affiliate is so stressful
Well,
that
and it makes you really focus on numbers, doesn't it?
yeah, and it does. It really makes me focus on numbers. And I started off, I had my view count at the bottom corner of my screen so I could see as soon as somebody joined in and all that stuff. And over time, sitting there seeing that goose egg, that zero, which is normal because you're new. Nobody knows about you yet. And but seeing that is was very disheartening, and it was stressful to look at it because you're sitting here, you're like, I'm putting all this work in it. Like, is it even worth it? Like, is all this X, Y, and Z? And having that good circle of friends, I had a buddy who's been streaming for about a year plus now, and I just reached out to him one day because he rated me on my channel, and I was like, "Woo, big hype, lots of followers, is super fun. Chat was blowing up. We're having a lot of fun." And then that next day, I went on and went back to that zero, and I was sitting there looking at it, and I was like, I restarted my stream like 5 times that night because I just couldn't get the motivation to sit in front of the camera and do a stream. And I jumped into his stream. I was like, dude, I don't feel like streaming tonight. And he took the time on his stream. He's like, turn the numbers off. Don't look at the numbers. He's like, stream as if you're streaming to thousands of people.
Yeah. I
And
mean, that's kind of like the thing.
mm-hmm.
And being you should stream for yourself
Oh yeah,
first.
yeah,
And stream as if there's a crowd of thousands
yeah,
watching you.
and
And someday there might be.
yeah.
And if
Someday there
there's
might
not,
be.
you're having fun
Yeah.
regardless. I think that especially with my streams and stuff, I started off like everybody else did.
Mm-hmm.
The 0 to 5 or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, that those first couple months, and then I think now I average somewhere along 35.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't without having those streams where it
Mm-hmm.
was really bad.
Yeah.
But what helps is you need to make goals that aren't dependent on other people's actions. And what I mean
Yeah.
is, you can't control how many people click on your video.
Yeah.
You can't control how many people retweet your stuff. You can't
Mm-hmm.
control how many people follow you, because that requires them doing an action, not
Mm-hmm.
you. I mean, yeah, they might follow you or like it or retweet it
Mm-hmm.
based on something you've put out there, but
Yeah.
you could make the best tweet in the world, and there's still going to be some people who don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so making goals that are self-fulfilling goals,
Mm-hmm.
which means I'm going to stream for 10 hours longer this month,
Yeah.
or I'm going to get new emotes, or
Yeah.
I'm going to change my overlays, or I'm going to play this new game.
Yeah.
Those are things that you can do.
Yeah. And
And when you accomplish them, you feel good because you did it.
yeah, definitely. And like you said about streaming for yourself first. Like that night that I wasn't feeling it, finally I was like I'm not going to stream, like screw I'm not in the mindset, and I'm like I'm going to play Animal Crossing because that's relaxing. And then I stopped. I was like, you know what? I'm playing Animal Crossing. You know what? I'm just going to stream Animal Crossing. And
Right.
so I'm just sitting there just playing on some Animal Crossing, occasionally throw my intro, hey, I'm 50 cal, check me out. And then chat started coming up. People were like, "Oh, hey, you play Animal Crossing?" And next thing I know, I'm streaming to like 5 people, and I was like, and I wasn't going to stream tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
I
then
think
and
that when
then
you're having fun, people want to watch somebody have fun. We think like, oh well, this game's trending. This is what people want to watch. I I think I had like my biggest stream like follower wise
mm-hmm.
of like organic followers was from a Five Nights at Freddy's stream. And honestly, I just wanted to play it. It was just me.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't call my I'm not a streamer who normally would play that type of game. And
Mm-hmm.
it's important to tell people who are coming in, like, hey, I'm a multi game streamer. I don't
Yeah,
usually stream this sort of thing. That way they don't expect it when they come back. But
yeah.
a lot of people want to see somebody enjoy a game that
Oh
they
yeah.
also enjoy. And so when you're just streaming because you're enjoying this game and you like to stream, then that's a lot better than doing what people think
Well,
they
and
should.
it's more organic. It's more organic. You're not faking it. You're not faking it. You're actually having fun. And I feel like watching it, you can definitely tell when somebody is just going through the motions for the view count or going through the motions because it's a popular game versus somebody who's actually enjoying the game and having fun.
Right.
Yeah. But there's something I was gonna go with it. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, uh, the personal goals and stuff like that. Having things that you can get behind. I know when I was on my grind for affiliate, like yeah, I had a follower count, but in the back of my mind, I had like a true follower count that I was like, okay, these are followers that I got. They didn't come from a raid. They didn't come from a host. These are followers that these are people who clicked follow because they liked it because they clicked on my video. And they liked what they saw. They weren't brought in from another community. And it's like in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, I have 20 followers. I'm like, no, my real number is five. I
Oh
have five.
no, don't be
No,
that
no,
way.
no, not beating myself up, not saying stuff like that. Like just kind of like in that personal, like, yeah, I have 20 followers, which is good. That's a good number. But personally, I was like, five of those were because of me, because I put the work in, and they liked watching me. They didn't come in from a raid or something like that. Because I mean, raids bring a lot of hype. Everyone's like, "Oh, cool, we're raiding this person. Let's follow them and share the love," and stuff like that, which is always greatly appreciated. Anybody out there looking to raid? Gotta
Right.
put the little plug in there, but no, and it's greatly appreciated, and it hypes you up and stuff like that at that moment. But especially when you're playing with the zero number count, having something like that, like that's kind of like what made me go back on the next day and stuff like that. Like, okay, can I get another follower tonight? Can I get someone talking in chat because we're having some fun? Can we get that interaction? And then when it does happen, it's like, yes, yes, I did it. I got that person in chat. I'm talking to someone. Hey, what are you doing? How are you doing? You get all fun and like, what do you want to do? Let's have some fun. And I know like one night I was playing Animal Crossing because that's one of my go-tos. But I had my follower goal up, and I was one away from my follower goal, and it was like 20 or something like that. And I came in, and someone came in, hit follow, and I got my goal, and I was like, hold up, we got to our goal tonight. What do you want me to do? I will decorate this entire room for you. Give me your favorite colors. And I got like it was like pink and like light blue, two colors I would never use, but I made a pink and light blue room.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, but it's lots of fun. But yeah, definitely, yeah, having that mental health and having that day off. I know a lot. Oh, we changed for a second. uh, having that the potato is so jiggly. But having that day off, and especially for new streamers, they're just on that grind trying to get the affiliate status and streaming every day, 5 hours, whatever. But I think having that day off to just kind of sit back, don't even think about streaming, just sit back, enjoy some time with family and all that.
It's important to have boundaries.
Yeah, having those boundaries. But let's go ahead and move on to the next question. All right, so we touched on it a little bit, So, video games and mental health. So, what specifically about video games and mental health is kind of like your drive for what you're doing?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people who have a severe anxiety about talking with their problems to
Mm-hmm.
therapists.
Yeah.
There's also people who are nonverbal, like my
Mm-hmm.
little brother. A lot of people who have autism or
Mm-hmm.
and people who lack social skills that would make communicating their emotions easy.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people who don't have that ability.
Yeah.
And then people who are younger, like kids and stuff, they don't really have the words.
Yeah.
And so, um, my goal and my dream would be to find a way to make a video game where those individuals could play this video game and make choices in a video game. And thanks to those choices and decisions, a therapist would be able to understand their mental state.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would help a lot of people. Um, and right now, a lot of stuff is used for treatment,
Mm-hmm.
using VR for PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
A video game has come out to help kids under the age of 13 with ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
a non medicinal um, like substitutes,
Mm-hmm.
which is really awesome, really cool. But having some way to diagnose someone
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to um, putting them in a uncomfortable position
Mm-hmm.
that they might not benefit from.
Yeah. Well,
That's kind
and
of idea or my inspiration or my drive, and I might never get there.
mm-hmm.
I might just make video games that deal with like treatments and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but that's like my passion is to see if I could figure that out.
Like a tool
I'm still in
for
school. Yeah.
like a tool for therapists and stuff like that to kind of uh, get uh, get into their mindset and kind of see what they have going on and what how they're feeling and stuff like that when they either a physically cannot verbalize it, b don't know the words, or c are just too uncomfortable to talk to somebody about it. Because I know it's very intimidating to sit down with a therapist, at least the first couple few times, because you're sitting there and they pull out the notes and they're like, okay, tell me everything, and you're like, what do I say? And
Right.
yeah, but
But even it would help with like, you know, when a therapist isn't available
mm-hmm,
in a game that could be played by anybody
mm-hmm,
and somebody like a nurse practitioner could use it
mm-hmm,
and you'd never have to get a therapist involved or
mm-hmm,
something. It would also help with like the shortage because there is a mental
mm-hmm,
health crisis and there's not a lot of psychologists
mm-hmm.
out and therapists out there for everybody.
Yeah, and I think yeah, definitely having something like that, something that can be mass distributed to clinics or even at home, just kind of like a, hey, if you're feeling a certain way, play this game. They'll kind of give you an insight to yourself.
Right. Or
Yeah,
just like kind of like a make an appointment.
yeah,
Play this game and we'll help you kind of I don't know.
yeah,
It's but that's kind of like my dream or like my drive, like my
yeah.
goal. If I were to do something in my greatest imagination, that's what I want to make.
Mm-hmm,
Now, I'm in school for psychology. And I'm in school for video game design.
mm-hmm,
Due to my own mental health problems,
mm-hmm.
I've had to take a small break, but I plan on going back here in the following semester.
Yeah,
And but yeah, that's my vision and my passion is to make something like that. I think at first I'll probably just be making video games that have to do with mental health, like theme wise.
mm-hmm,
But over time, my whole goal is to research that like aspect or that
yeah.
like possibility.
Yeah, definitely. And having been diagnosed yourself, you can kind of use that as like your baseline when building it and stuff like that. Like, okay, what type of questions was I either personally asked, or do I wish were asked, or what kind of situations do I wish I was presented with and stuff like that, and kind of using that as a baseline to kind of get get it going and kind of see where you can go from there.
Right. Well, and it's also um I'm already really familiar with the whole struggling to kind of put my thoughts and stuff in order, especially with like
Mm-hmm.
my ADHD kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I just really think video games are definitely not utilized to
Mm-hmm.
their full potential.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And with technology and all that, like video games are getting more immersive, more realistic, and stuff like that. And instead of applying it to the next shooter extraordinaire, apply it to life. See what you can get. See what how far you can go, and maybe even something where it's a video game, but on the other end is a therapist as another player in the game or something like that, and they ask in a floating potato way. They ask all the questions that are needed in a fun, interactive environment for maybe children or people who don't want to sit down face to face with a therapist. And that also gives the availability of doing remote counseling. Of hey, I you don't have to come into a big scary office. You can sit on your comfy couch and play a video game, and we're just going to talk while we're playing this video game, and stuff like that, and then using the data from the game and the way they're interacting with it, and maybe not even necessarily asking questions like, "Hey, which path would you prefer, A or B? A has this going on, and B has this going on," and then they just go through the level, kind of like their spirit guide.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of. But
but
yeah,
yeah, I
that's
mean, there's
pretty
so many
much
there's so many avenues that you can approach it from, and I think that's what's really nice about video games is they're so flexible. You can really approach it any way that you want, and still get the same end result.
exactly.
So definitely look forward if you start getting those game devs going on. I will definitely tune in to watch that because that's actually really interesting, and I think that'd be cool to watch somebody build a game on Twitch.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my goal for my content.
Yeah,
Someday we'll get there.
that's definitely gonna be a lot of fun. But let's go ahead and move on to the next question. Come on, there you go. In what ways do you see video games helping with mental illness or mental
I
health?
think
I think we kind of we kind of covered it a
covered
bit.
this one already, but just simply like being an untapped avenue
Mm-hmm.
that really will get into like all facets of mental health.
Mm-hmm. And
I
so,
think
okay, let's change the question up just a little bit, so we can still have a good question. Um, Normal video games currently, how do you see them helping with mental health?
well, I think that the video games we have currently, um, there are a lot of them that have a really great way of communicating certain aspects of mental health. There's
Mm-hmm.
like the game Grace really covers like grief.
Mm-hmm.
um and while it's 5 stages of grief is not actually realistic,
Mm-hmm.
it is a great way of kind of explaining it in a way that's easy to digest.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes through like all those stages, and it does a really beautiful job of communicating that we don't feel emotions in one particular facet or
Mm-hmm.
like one way. They use watercolors to kind of show, to represent, red meaning anger, blue meaning
Mm-hmm.
depression, green being bartering,
Yeah.
kind of showing these stages of grief, and then showing that they overlap or bleed into one another
Mm-hmm.
by using watercolors.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a great way of communicating that in a way that they never say it out loud.
Hmm.
But even making video games a little bit more bold and having them like say, hey, this is what this means, instead
Yeah.
of kind of leaving it up to the imagination to figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
or the interpretation of gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
um there are some games that touch on a lot of hard topics, but there's still so many more topics that have yet to be really discussed
Mm-hmm.
in video games. um I think the problem with video games and mental health is that they just wouldn't be as popular
Yeah.
as like Fortnite or some sort of battle royale.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when you think of a mental health video game, it doesn't have to be like something you'd play on a leapfrog or um
Shout
and it
out to
doesn't have
Leapfrog.
right and it doesn't have to be something as like super artistic like Grease. It
Mm-hmm.
could be something that's fun and interactive
Mm-hmm.
like Skyrim. Who knows, but
Yeah.
um right now nobody's really like kind of delved into that, like making something that would be popular and still like emotionally um woke, I
Yeah.
guess.
Emotionally woke.
I
Yeah. It's
don't know how else to explain
yeah.
it,
And
but it just wouldn't be as popular as like a
yeah.
first person shooter. So I think it's really looked over. And who knows? I'm sure there are people in there, those indie devs out
Mm-hmm.
there making, games that nobody's ever going to see that
Mm-hmm.
probably do a really great job of it.
Yeah.
Um, that they make just for themselves, but it'd be really nice to see
Yeah.
one.
Well, and having a platform like Twitch, you find that indie dev that is touching on a good topic. Say they're talking about depression, and they find a really good way of communicating that message. But having a platform like Twitch, I mean, you jump on, you play that game, and said, hey, especially a channel like you where mental health is a big thing. You're like, hey, check out this game that I found. This is a game that talks about depression and play it live on stream for everybody to see, and then bring more attention to it. Now more people are buying it, more words going around, and then that's kind of how you kind of get those games noticed and get them up.
Right.
Yeah.
And we did that for a long time on the
Hmm.
channel, is and I've been streaming for over a year,
Yeah.
and I've kind of run out of games.
I
Because
think
there
the
are a lot of games that like dealt with mental health issues,
hmm
and it takes an hour to play them,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
so we've kind of like come to a standstill on games, and so now we're just kind of playing video games while talking about mental
yeah.
health. But we used to try to find games that I either play them ahead of time or play them live on
Hmm.
stream then. And we would just go through the gameplay, talk about like the symbolism, talk
Hmm.
about like the the gameplay itself, and we do it, and it would have different topics and different themes, and it
Hmm.
was good. There's some games that talk about like bipolar disorder and
Hmm.
stuff that were interesting, but again, hour-long playthrough
Yeah,
tops.
yeah. Well, because most of the time they're made by these small teams that don't have the personnel or the budget or the technology to make a giant game.
Right.
Yeah.
I
But
think a great one I saw recently was It Takes Two,
I've heard of
which
it.
did a
Yeah.
which did a really good job of explaining like communication and
Mhm.
dealing with relationship issues,
Mhm.
which is part of your mental health too.
Yeah.
Your relationships you have with people, whether they
Mhm.
be platonic or romantic. It did
Yeah.
a great job of going through like all these different things. Like, it was a good game. It was a really good game. Uh, long. I think I played it for like 15
Oh
hours,
wow.
and I thought I was doing well. It was a long game.
Oh wow. Yeah, I heard of It Takes Two. I didn't know that was kind of the premise behind it.
Yeah, it's like a little girl whose parents are getting a divorce.
Oh wow.
And so they magically get turned into dolls,
Hmm.
and they're trying to get turned back into people. And this marriage counseling book is like guiding them through this like adventure.
Oh wow.
And it takes the two of them working together to get to the end of the game.
And the whole premise is on it always takes two to complete
Yeah.
the level, to complete the puzzle. That is
Yep.
that's a really good that is a really good story. I gotta look that game up now. Yeah, I've been seeing
Can't
it around.
can't play it by yourself. Just FYI. Can't play it by yourself.
Oh, it has to
But
be a two player?
I think only one person has to own it. And
Oh,
you can
okay.
send them a code. But yeah.
Cool. I'll definitely have to look that one up. But all right, let's go ahead and jump on to that next question. Do you sing or play any instruments?
I do sing. I play the piano. Um, I do karaoke and stuff on my channel a lot.
Yeah, I know someone in chat said that you sing on your channel.
Yeah, it's it started off as just like a channel redemption thing, and now I just kind of do it whenever. I just enjoy it. I do sing on my channel and stuff. Like I said, I came from a very religious background where we
Mhm.
did choir and stuff all the time, so singing's pretty ingrained in me, I think.
So I couldn't fit it into a question because I couldn't figure out exactly how I wanted to word it. But I know when we talked on that Discord call a little bit ago, you mentioned that you used to sing competitively.
I used to do theater competitively.
Theater, that was it. Yeah, theater competitively. So tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that.
So I was part of what's called the National Forensics League, or aka the NFL. And what that is it's a solo or team competitive theater. The cool part about it is there's no props, there's no
Uh-huh.
costumes. Typically you would show up in a nice business wear attire is like standard. So you have people competing in suits. And basically you memorize theater pieces about 8 minutes
Mm-hmm.
long, and there's all different kinds of events:
Yeah.
humorous interpretations, dramatic interpretations. There's what's called prose. So this, unlike dramatic interpretation where you would have that piece completely memorized,
Mm-hmm.
prose was a book instead of a play, and you would act out a section of a book,
Oh.
and so it would be from the book. You'd be holding the book with you, usually in a little black binder.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it would be about 8 minutes. And then there's other events like poetry, which would be dramatic
Mm-hmm.
interpretations of poetry reading pieces. Um, I competed in pretty much every event.
Mm-hmm.
I was a national qualifier. When I was in high school, I got really creative, and I would kind of like take things as I wrote a piece,
Mm-hmm.
or composed a piece actually, about the perspective of Jeffrey Dahmer's mom.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
That got heavy. That got really heavy. Jeffrey
well, in
Dahmer.
in high school, I was also really intrigued by mental health,
Yeah.
but no, but from the perspective of Jeffrey Dahmer's mom.
Yeah.
And I took inspiration from Edgar Allan Poe, some of his
Mm-hmm.
poetry. There was a poetry piece actually written by the perspective of Jeffrey Dahmer's mom. News articles, um, books,
Mm-hmm.
documentary kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what those are called. Not, I guess, autobiographical
Yeah.
books. Um, and so I kind of, even birthday cards. If the birthday card was written in poetry form,
Oh
you
wow.
could take that. And so I kind of like pieced this whole competitive piece together. It
Mm-hmm.
came out to 8 minutes, and it was like this dialogue between Jeffrey Dahmer's mom
Mm-hmm.
and Jeffrey Dahmer throughout his whole life, and her whole like thing. One of the lines was, "Will I be forgiven for the sins I did not commit but created?"
Oh
And
wow.
that was kind of her whole vibe was torn between loving her son and feeling guilty because she said she'd love him and he could grow up to be anything, and he chose to be a serial killer.
Yeah.
And so it was a really cool piece. It got a lot of attention, one because of the subject, and two because of how I composed it,
Mm-hmm.
which I made because it was from so many sources. I presented it as poetry,
Yeah.
but a lot of people argued that it was prose because of how it read, because it
Yeah.
didn't read sing-songy like
Yeah.
poetry did. It was a dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I interpreted it as a dialogue
Yeah.
because poetry doesn't have to always rhyme, and
Mm-hmm.
because I grabbed things from books and cards,
Mm-hmm.
and um it was just, they didn't really know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't feel comfortable putting me in the prose category
Mm-hmm.
or the poetry category. So they did away with both of those categories after I graduated. And they said, we're not doing that anymore. It's called poise.
Poise.
And it can be from a book or a poem. And that's what we're doing now.
Oh man.
So, I
And they're still
completely,
rocking hard with the poise.
yeah, they're still rocking hard with the poise. So, I, thanks to that whole like debacle, and actually I didn't get to go to nationals because of it.
Oh man.
Um,
Because they didn't know. There's like, what do we do with it?
what do we do with it? And so I kind of changed the sport. So now I go back every year to my school, and
Mm-hmm.
I actually present my piece to my old high school classroom, and I tell them about how I compositioned that whole theater piece
Mm-hmm.
and help them make their own.
What what kind of stuff have you seen them come up with after hearing uh your composure?
All kinds of crazy stuff. It's I think it's really fun to see people get really creative
Mm-hmm.
with. It's not really stealing. It's like your interpretation. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like when you see a painting and somebody's like, "Oh, that's a sunset," and you're like, "Well, I think that's an orange slice."
Yeah.
And kind of seeing people's different interpretations. Um,
Skill giving me crap for saying wrong words.
oh, no worries.
English is hard, Skill. You know English
It's
is hard for me.
it's hard. But watching people's interpretations of art is pretty
Hmm.
cool, and seeing how they create things is pretty fun. I can't pull one specifically, I guess, from memory.
Hmm.
I saw somebody once do a fun interpretation of like, what if Disney princesses were fat,
Yeah, that's
and
a fun
would
one.
we still like them?
Yeah. Would we still like them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that brings up a good topic.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
kind of like the you know um adding
Societal
a new filter.
expectations and stuff like that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
on like, especially these people are supposed to be perfect, or
Hmm.
what have you. But
Yeah.
it's pretty fun. I love doing it because it's kind of like reliving, I don't know, something that I really enjoy
Yeah.
doing. I love theater. I always thought I'd be an actor or a singer, and I'm neither of those things.
You're a streamer, which is
I'm a
basically all of
potato.
them.
I'm a potato is what I am. And so
Well, and
um
I can see enjoying that theater mindset and performing and doing all that. I could definitely see how streaming ultimately ended up becoming a draw for you because that lets you kind of express that.
yeah, it definitely gives me a creative outlet that I didn't really have prior to doing
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, but that's really good. That's cool. That's cool to hear that. It's cool to hear that you're out there changing sports.
Well, if you consider it a sport, that's still up for debate.
I mean, it's competing. At the very least, it's a competition.
It is a competition.
Yep.
And you know what? By God, it was very hard. Like
It sounds
physically
hard.
too.
It sounds hard. Like having to do that. Not even that, but just having to get up in front of people and do that too. Like it's one thing to like to scribble down a poem and a notebook and be like, okay, here you go. Here's my uh, submission. But to actually get up and perform what you wrote or perform something is that takes a lot to get up and actually do that.
In high school, you'll probably compete against, you'll probably, the only people that'll be in the room watching you are your
Hmm.
competitors.
Yeah.
And then the judges.
Hmm.
And so it'll probably be a room of like 10 to 15 people.
Yeah.
Um but then, when you get up to like nationals and stuff, it's live streamed,
Yeah.
televised, shenanigans, and
Yeah.
there's thousands of people in the room. So it can be pretty intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But let's go ahead and move on to our next question. Do you support any charities? Because I know
Um,
charity streaming is a thing that's getting pretty popular on Twitch now, which is awesome, and it's cool. It's cool to see that everybody are they're taking their platform and using it to help others. But do you have any charities that you currently support, or charities that you would like to support in the future?
Definitely there's a lot of there's a whole organization um that one of my friends, Lady Legend, she does a
Mm-hmm.
lot of charity streams for, and it's a group of um individuals who started this. They used to be like gamers or
Mm-hmm.
something. It really focuses on like mental health and especially like in the gaming community and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And I've yet to do a charity stream, but if I did, I'd probably do it with that organization.
That's cool.
Um, Obviously, like any kind of suicide prevention
Yeah.
um is kind of like one that I tend to gravitate to.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't ever done really a charity stream.
Mm-hmm.
They take a lot of organization and work.
That's what I've
And
been kind of hearing about that.
not that I don't think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a really hard time organizing anything. And so it never goes well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
butterfly plus bean by bee.
I was trying to remember. I was trying to figure out what that was. What they were saying. I'm like, what's that supposed to mean?
Bean.
but but yeah. So that charity organization for like mental health and the video game community. What specifically do they do?
Let me see if I can look it up because off the top of my head, I do not know.
Hmm.
Like too much about them. I know that Last Lady Legend, she does a lot of work with them, but I
Also, if you
don't.
can, if you have it up, if you would mind posting the link in the chat for everybody, so they can look it up as well, since we're talking about it.
Yes, I need to find it. I might not be able to find it off the top off the dome.
Oh, okay.
But I'll definitely post it in Discord.
Okay. Awesome. Good, yeah, because that's a good charity. I mean, we're out here, we're streaming, we're having some fun anyway, so might as well give back to the community and help out people who might need it.
Exactly. I couldn't find it. I'll probably post it in Discord. It'll take me forever to find it.
So a little bit about me on the charity topic. I'm actually part of two charity organizations that do costume charity work. So what it is, they're both Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars nerd. um, but what it is we dress as Star Wars characters, movie accurate Star Wars characters, and we go to like children's hospitals and stuff like that, and we share our love of Star Wars with people who might be kind of down, uh, all that stuff. But when we're not doing hospital visits and stuff like that, we go to like cons and stuff, and we have a charity pool that people can donate to, and then at the end of the night, we take all the money that we got and we donate it to our charity that we're supporting that day, and we make a good couple few $100 off of our
That's pretty
our
good.
cons. And what's cool is we it's not just, oh, here, put the money in the bucket. We always do something. So for my Mandalorian group, uh, people can put a bounty on somebody, and for every dollar they donate, that person has to spend a minute in our jail cell that we have set up next to our booth. And so what they do is they fill out a little bounty slip, donate the money, and then they give the slip to one of us in character, and we hunt them down in the con. We have the person with us. It's like, oh yeah, the guy in the red shirt, and then we go over. We're like, sir, you're under arrest. There's a bounty out for you, and then we escort them. We make this whole big deal, and we parade them through the through the con,
Oh,
and
oh
then
jeez.
we bring them to the jail cell, and then they have like a big timer that they turn on when the person goes in. And one of the things that's actually kind of funny is the group. There's a like an inside joke for the group. One of the members, I guess it was a con like before I joined. Um, they kept messing with him. He would spend a few minutes in the jail cell, and then another member would donate and put him back in the jail cell. And so they
Oh
kept messing with
goodness.
him that night, and it turned into like a standing joke. And the guy has like 6 hours of time that he has to he has to burn off from the jail cell, because every night they round up the donations to like the nearest hundred or whatever, and then they just put that on his sentence.
Oh,
And
jeez.
he's true to it though. He'll be sitting there and be like, "Okay, I'm gonna jump in the jail cell, start the timer."
That's
But
great.
yeah, it's lots of fun. It's a really good community. That's actually the community that I was talking about earlier, with the one that's very inclusive and has people from a bunch of different walks of life. But yeah, definitely. I need to look up that mental health one that you mentioned, because that's a good one to support on Twitch.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, welcome
Um,
in, Tricky. Same to you, Sev. We're having some fun. We're interviewing Bish tonight. I think
yeah,
you guys
tricky.
probably know them.
Yeah, it's tricky to rock around, not rock around. It's tricky. I
But
do that every time Tricky shows up on my stream.
and I think we are on the last question. Yep. So I've been talking all night, asking you all these fun, entertaining questions. What questions do you have for me?
um, well, why did you start streaming? I know that your friend
Yeah.
streams,
Uh,
but what really got you into streaming?
um, Honestly, I don't really know. I didn't like come in with like a super awesome plan like you. It was just my friend was streaming, and I just kind of came to the conclusion one night. I'm like, well, I get home from work and I play video games. I'm like, I'll just try out the streaming, see how that is, and started going. And I'll say what keeps me streaming now is actually the community. Getting on here and interacting with some of my regulars and getting to meet new people and stuff like that. I think that's a big draw for me, because yeah, I mean I'm gonna play the game regardless, but getting to have some fun with everybody while doing it. I think that's what is keeping me going and keeping me coming in, and getting tortured by my chat. My chat loves messing with me. Oh man. Uh, I don't know how many times I'm like, yeah, I'm playing a difficult game tonight. Next thing I know, I'm holding the controller upside down because someone redeemed
I've
it.
seen that. I've seen it. It's great.
but uh, but yeah, that's for me. Starting off was just kind of like, let's see what happens, and if nothing happens, then cool. I tried, and I'll just go back to playing my games on my own. If something happens, then cool, we'll figure it out.
What room of your house are you streaming from?
A guest room.
Does your wife not? Is your wife not going to let you turn the guest room into a stream den?
No, I've tried. No,
No.
this is this is the only room in the house that's soundproof enough so I don't wake up my baby.
That's fair.
Because I was streaming in the living room. This whole setup was wedged in the living room, and the living room echoes. And a couple few times during my stream, I'd see my wife go into the nursery, and I'm like, yeah, I need to get somewhere where I'm not loud. And it was actually kind of funny when I was testing it. I'm like, okay, you stay in his room. I'm gonna close his door. I'm gonna close the guest door, and I'm going to go in there and yell.
Right.
Go in there, talk at my normal streaming voice, talk on my woo, we're getting hyped voice. And then I come back, did you hear anything? Yeah, I heard like a little bit, but nothing crazy. And I was like, okay, good. And so yeah, moved into the guest room. I have like 2 feet of space between me and the bed.
Oh, geez.
It's cramped.
I'd I'd fill that bed with squishmallows and get some cool lights and call it a day then if she's not gonna let you turn it into
Yeah, yeah.
a stream room.
Yeah, future upgrades probably going to get some sort of backlight just to kind of make the room a little bit more interesting other than plain white.
Have you thought about doing like a green screen where you're like a floating torso?
Yeah, I've thought about doing a green screen, but I don't have much space. I saw ones though that actually clip to your chair,
Yeah,
and
those are cool.
yeah, again, not much space even for those. I'll probably end up knocking half the room over just turning to grab water. But
Jeez.
but yeah, no, I'm working out. I'm just starting off, so I'm still trying to get all my stuff
Should be
together.
a streamer from bed. Just
Skill
lay back
banished to the
there.
guest room.
Just lay back there and do your stream from back there on the
I
bed.
want to stream VR. I've been trying to figure out how to get that working so I can see chat.
Or
And
be a sleep streamer. Just,
I have the setup.
just
I could just sleep.
you just sleep, and people could try to wake you up while you're sleeping.
I'm gonna set up a redemption for like 1,000,000,000 as an air raid siren.
Yeah, while you're sleeping.
48-hour
40.
stream confirmed. I don't have 48 hours of time to stream.
That'd be cool though.
It would be cool if I could work it. Then yeah, something crazy like that. Maybe we'll turn it into like a subathon because people do those. But but yeah, 48-hour stream. Maybe later on after we've been established enough and have enough people to watch for 48 hours straight. Just I believe I can fly, and when you fall, you land on the bed.
Yes, do that.
Oh man.
Just jump on it for a channel reward.
But but yeah. What else? What else do you got?
Um,
I know, kind of not ready to ask questions.
do you like chicken nuggets?
I do like chicken nuggets.
Ah! We have a chicken nugget connoisseur, I see. And what is your favorite sauce?
Ranch. I was about to ask you what your favorite sauce was.
It's not ranch. It's buffalo sauce.
Buffalo sauce. Okay, yeah. I do like buffalo sauce. I forgot about wing sauce to go with it. Yeah, buffalo sauce is good. But generally,
would you ever try the KFC Beyond Meat nuggets?
I didn't even know they had Beyond Meat nuggets.
Yeah, they just came out with them, and you have to try them.
I've had like the Beyond Burger and stuff like that, and the Beyond Meat actually isn't that bad.
You should go get some Beyond nuggets from KFC.
Oh,
Those nuggets are so good. So I fed them to my dad, and he doesn't like Beyond Meat. He's very like anti Beyond Meat actually, and he tried them, and they were fantastic, and he couldn't even tell, and he ate like 5 of them.
Skill. If I keep nuggets in house, then I eat them about 4 times a week. Skill's got a nugget addiction.
I feel that. I feel like I have a nugget addiction sometimes too.
Okay, another question for you. What Harry Potter house are you?
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff?
I'm a Hufflepuff.
You definitely
Can
are
I guess?
Hufflepuff.
Can I? I'm insulted now.
I mean, you can only guess. I mean, you're a flying potato, so that basically screams Hufflepuff.
What are you, Ravenclaw?
No.
What are you?
Gryffindor. I'm not snooty like that.
Are you in the?
I'm a Slytherin. I'm a Slytherin. I took the test.
No.
I took the actual test on the Harry Potter website, which is actually, I do gotta say, you know, like a lot of these like what Disney prince are you and stuff like that. All these like these little like what's the name of that? Anyways, all these little tests. You know, like you can look at it and they're super, like you could tell what direction you're leaning just by the question.
Yeah. Because it's very obvious.
Yeah, it's very obvious where it's going.
If I answer this,
then I'll get.
It's definitely gonna give me Prince Eric.
I was going to say Eric.
Do you like seafood? Do you like seafood? It's like
BuzzFeed.
All right.
Yeah, the BuzzFeed quizzes. Yeah, that's it. But no, the Harry Potter one on the official website, it is not like that. There are a bunch of obscure questions that you have no idea what they're leaning towards, and what's cool is they actually go into the lore of all the houses and explain what the houses are actually known for outside of just like, oh, they're the good guys, they're the bad guys, stuff like that. So like Slytherins are actually very like logical thinkers. They're thinkers and stuff like that. Versus like Gryffindor, a bunch of like leaders, like leadership and stuff like that. Hufflepuff were like the creative arts mostly, except for like the Ravenclaws. I think Ravenclaws were writers. Yeah, but yeah, it's a good quiz. Yeah, and I think my Patronus is a cat.
I just read the books.
Oh man,
yeah, that's the house I.
Yeah, chat. I turned off my point redemptions tonight because I knew you guys were going to try and do some crazy stuff. I turned it off. How about that? No, they'll be back on. They'll be back on when we're up next time. I just want to turn it off so we weren't
Oh my
getting
gosh, you guys
crazy for
should
the.
make lore on 50 cal. Make lore about Cal. That'd be great.
Oh,
Post it in the
oh God.
Discord.
I'm scared. Oh man. But
What's your least favorite thing about streaming?
oh, and I didn't believe 100% on it because I asked that question to my last guest, and I'm going to get the same answer he gave. Technology.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, fuck technology. Oh my God. I
It's
have
very
spent
confusing.
more time behind the scenes fixing stuff. Oh man. Oh man. Just recently, like, because I mentioned earlier my stream was having a lot of lag out, which I'm super glad we didn't have tonight. Thank you. Thank As my chat knows, we messed with the internet gods and they freaking smacked us. So thank you, internet gods, for blessing this stream tonight.
The
But
stream lords.
oh, happy birthday, Sev! I hope you had a fantastic birthday. It was Sev's birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
um, Sorry, got derailed by chat. But yeah, technology. Like I was having a lot of issues. Yeah, I was happy about it because it let me do some more fun stuff with my stream. I had an audio splitter program, so I could listen to like Discord or Spotify without streaming it and stuff like that. And then I had it all set up so I could stream my Spotify without getting in trouble. And and so we were having some fun with that, but for some reason my computer was like, no, too much.
Well, there's Spotify that's non-copyrighted
Yeah,
playlists.
yeah.
That's what I
I
stream
have one. I
from.
have one that I turn on, this non-copyright, and then I've just saw Sir Farewell. I tuned in his stream for a little bit, and he was listening to the weird like Twitch music stuff. I need to figure that out because I guess that's really good too.
Yeah, but I've seen people get copyright slapped with even the Twitch music.
How that stuff's supposed to be like
I
that's the whole
know,
purpose of the Twitch music.
I know. That's the problem.
Oh man, yeah, but uh, but yeah, least favorite part is technology. Oh man, so much just random tech stuff, and not even just like tech stuff, but getting stuff set up the way I
Right.
like having this here, having this there, like, and I just started off, so I'm not like dumping like thousands of dollars into it. Like I'm streaming off every loose TV that was in my house.
That's great.
But luckily, I had just a bunch of stuff laying around. And I started pulling things together. I was like, oh, wait, I can use this for streaming. And I can use this for streaming. And I can use this. And I got
Yeah.
so much random stuff set up. And it's kind of fun on its own, figuring it out. And
My very
conscious.
first stream setup was on a TV and a laptop.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm running right now. I got my laptop, got my TV that I play my game on, and then I have a third monitor, which was basically another TV for my console when I wanted to go mobile. And that thing is just turned vertical because like, oh, I can turn it vertical, and that's my chat now.
Oh, that's great. I have 3 monitors and I haven't even figured out how to do the third one.
Yeah, I don't even know. It, oh, cables are everywhere. Oh man, cable
Cables are a
control.
fucking nightmare.
Cables are, and then you forget which one goes where.
You should label them.
Yeah, I need to label them. I saw a life hack: bread ties.
Color.
You take the little plastic clips from a bread tie, you write what it is, and you clip it onto the cable.
Oh, that's actually pretty nifty.
Yeah. Now that I remembered it, now I need to collect some bread ties. But oh, Sev saying we're streaming VR. So okay, so yeah, my issue with my VR that's keeping me from doing it, I don't have like a gaming computer, so I can't really hook up a headset to the computer and stream that way. So right now I have an Oculus Quest 2, which is all standalone, which is fine and stuff, but I can't. I figured out how to stream. I figured out how to get the video on there, but I can't see chat. That's my
Isn't
main
there an
issue.
extension that
There's
you download?
extensions and stuff, but like they're not jiving well right now. Like I need to hook my headset up to my laptop, and my laptop does not like it. So I've been
I
trying to
see.
find ways. My solution that I kind of have right now is peeking down the nose,
Oh,
trying to basically putting my chat on like my iPad and making it as big as possible, and then just peeking down my nose, which is going to
at
probably get a
the
lot of weird angles. Probably me doing this, sniffing my iPad to read chat. So yeah, and I know it's just going to hurt my eyes if I even attempt to do a stream with it right now. But it kind of defeats the purpose if I can't see chat. Yeah, exactly. So once I figure out the chat thing, then yes, definitely, I will be streaming some VR. Uh, I would also need to figure out some space too because I don't got
do
space.
it from the bed. Tell him, chat. Do it from the bed.
Oh, I sat on the bed at one point because I'm like, a lot of these games have sitting options,
Yes.
and I'm like, this is gonna be the weirdest stream ever. It's just gonna be me cross-legged on this bed with a freaking VR headset going.
I like the whatever the Saber Beats one
Beat
is.
Saber, yeah,
Beat
yeah. Beat
Saber.
Saber is a fun one. I have this game on there. It's a lot of fun, and I want to stream it. It's a graffiti simulator. So you go into these all these different canvases, if you will, and they're like alleyways and like trucks and like walls and all this stuff. And then your controller is a can of spray paint, and you have like color control, nozzle control, and yeah, it works just like spray paint. You hold the trigger, spray paint goes out, hit it on the wall, and you can do. It's actually really realistic for how
That's
spray paint
pretty
works,
cool.
and it's a lot of fun. It's actually really relaxing. Sitting there, I gotta just put some music on and just kind of jam out and spray paint.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun to stream, but I need to get my VR hooked up.
I don't even have an Oculus.
They're fun. They're fun, and the Quest 2 can connect to a PC, so you can use it as a wired headset as well.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but but yeah. What else do you got?
I think that's all my questions.
All right. Then we'll open it up to chat. What questions do you have for either Bish or myself? We do have a little bit of a delay, so it will take me a second to see it, but we will answer the questions. And now the wait.
And now,
I have a noticeable. Oh, tricky.
um, yeah.
Let's get chat involved because chat's just been sitting there blowing up. I know they got burning questions. Chat always has questions.
Chat wasn't ready for it either. Chat, see, we weren't ready.
I bet
Yeah.
PS4 is like an ancient stuff in the year 3000.
It's ancient stuff right
I
now.
know it's
Actually.
ancient now. As soon as that next one comes out, it's like, yep, old.
I do live in America. I
Yeah,
live in Missouri.
I live in Washington State. So internet, the wonders of internet, completely across the country from each other, and having this fun and being able to do all this.
I'm going to Seattle this month. Which is
Ooh,
cool.
nice.
That's Washington, right?
Yeah, that's
Seattle's in
Washington.
Washington.
What are you going? What are you doing in Seattle?
Visiting some friends. I've
Nice.
never been to Washington before, so
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
excited.
lots of Asian food, lots of pizza places. Um, coffee. Coffee is really big here. Um, Seattle's actually the home of Starbucks.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
was
it
told
and
that
that's
it smelled like coffee
yeah,
there in Seattle.
yeah. If you get a chance, go to Pike's Place. That's actually where the original Starbucks was.
So I like using the potato filters because they're cool. Um,
The sparkler one gets me.
they're they catch the eye. They are nice when I don't want to be on face cam. Um, but they also are really easy to break the ice when you're talking about serious stuff. They definitely make talking about the harder topics easier, I think. And I have a lot of potato skins, so
Oh man,
whatever the mood is, we definitely can
it's like TGI Friday.
yeah, with all these potato skins.
Uh-oh. Sev has a riddle for me. All right, hit me with it, Sev.
Oh, I love riddles.
I suck at riddles. Oh, yes. Okay. So the meme war, you've probably been seeing meme war come up. So on our Discord, we have a meme war. Every time I stream, I announce the winner, and B, give out the next word. So the meme war, we give a word, and everybody sends a meme out related to the word, and then we vote on it. And whoever wins, I haven't worked out prizes yet, but you win. You get bragging points. So, since you're our guest tonight, what word or topic would you want to be on the next meme war? And while I'm tallying up the votes from the last one.
Okay, so the next meme war.
So, for example, our last
Um.
word was table, and they had to post memes based off table.
Okay. Oh, the word is.
It looks like nobody voted on. There's been like one vote on table.
The word is sauce.
Sauce. Ooh.
Sauce. Or I guess milk. I don't think
Ooh, milk.
sauce.
Milk sauce.
Milk
Hold
sauce.
on. That's opening a whole lot of.
Nope.
That's a
We've
can of
already
worms.
We've already decided the theme
Oh,
is milk sauce.
all right.
The
Oh
theme is
God,
milk sauce.
those memes are going to be terrifying. All right. Typing it in right now.
Nope. The theme
What
is
meme number are we on? 7.
milk sauce.
This is meme battle number 7.
I have cities but no houses. I have mountains but no trees. I have water but no fish. What am I?
So let me post the Discord again for those of you who may not have it. Here's the Discord. Go on in under the meme war category for battle number 6. Vote for your favorite memes because we only have one vote right now. All right, so let me read that riddle. I have cities but no houses, mountains but no trees. I have water but no fish. What am I? Oh God, that's hurting my brain. Cities and no
Goes, cities and no houses. What kind of city has no house?
mountains but no trees. Water but no fish. Okay, that rules out the ocean. Tricky, I've heard of this one. Oh man. Oh God, I don't even know where to begin on that one. Cities but no houses. So cities, mountains but no trees. Oh.
I know the answer, but I don't want to say it yet.
I suck at riddles. I'm just going to give up right now. What's the answer?
It's a map.
Oh,
Maps have
yeah.
cities on
No
them, but don't
houses,
have
mountains,
houses.
but no trees.
And
Yeah, it's a
rivers,
map.
no
Yeah.
fishes.
I told you guys, I prefaced that. I said, I suck at riddles.
I got it!
Oh, man. Okay, chat. What other questions do you got from us? We asked Bish why the potato. The skill went over my head. So we asked Bish why the potato. You asked us a riddle. What else do you guys got for us? Oh no, Seth has another riddle coming. This is the second and last one.
So I guess we'll ask another riddle.
My favorite food.
Your favorite food.
Ooh. Well, I'll also share that question with you, Bish. What's your favorite food?
Cheese.
Cheese. cheese.
Cheese,
Oh.
just in any form and on anything.
Oh, favorite food. I don't have like a favorite food. Um, I really have like a favorite food. I like almost all food. If it's tasty, I'll eat it. I don't care where it's from.
Uh,
And then favorite music genre. That one's from Skill for both of us. Um, so I know for me, my music genre changes. And kind of going into the mental health a little bit, backtracing. For me, music is it plays a big part of like my mental health, and it also kind of reflects my mental health at the time. Like one day I was just listening to my playlist like of all my favorite songs from like the past like 2 years, and I was just sitting there and I had it playing out loud, and someone pointed out, they're like, dude, you can tell your mental state based off the songs. I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, when we started it, they're all like upbeat and fun, and then they just started getting dark and like instrumental and all that
Save no
stuff.
pity for the dead.
it's just like heavy metal.
Yeah, it's like it just started getting like dark, and then it started getting light again. And I'm like, I never realized that, but it's so true. Like for me, my music kind of reflects like my mental state that I'm in at the time. Not necessarily like in a bad way or whatever. It's just kind of like, oh, I got my Batman on. I'm brooding.
Well, I think that music theory, it can apply to a lot of people. I think music has a lot to do with our emotions, and it
Mhm.
evokes emotions, and it also is a great way to express emotions without words.
Yeah.
My favorite genre of music is whatever the Beach Boys are.
Whatever the Beach Boys are. What do they fall under?
I don't know, but
They're unique. I think
Yeah, but
there's a certain like genre for the Beach Boys. I just can't, because they're not like
Probably.
necessarily rock.
No.
Okay, so
but
we have that riddle.
I have keys but no locks, and space and no rooms.
You can
You can enter, but you can't go outside. What am I?
I've heard this one before. But I don't remember the answer.
Break it down.
Answer the riddle, and I won't torture your next stream. Well, Seb, it looks like you just got tortured, because I'm probably not going to get the answer. Surf rock. Beach Boys are surf rock.
Surf rock? That's what it's called? Okay, surf rock is my favorite genre of music.
Okay. Or pop. Keys and no locks. Space and no rooms.
What has just break it down like this. What has keys, a space, and an enter?
Control Alt Delete.
You got it. You know, a keyboard. It's a keyboard.
Is it a keyboard? Is it a keyboard?
Yes, it's a keyboard.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
What has space?
Oh man, I threw that one out there. Control Alt Delete.
I don't know why
Yeah,
you
it's a
said Control
keyboard.
Alt Delete. I said what has keys, a space bar, and a space and an enter, and you're like Control Alt Delete. Why did you say it like that? Keys,
No,
space, enter.
I think Bish is Googling. Seb thinks you're Googling.
How? When would I have time?
Oh man. No, I just said Control Alt Delete because that's what my brain did. I didn't even think about keyboard until after you said it. You're like, that's it. I was like, what? Oh, I suck at riddles. I've never been good at riddles. Oh man, now I know what my chat's going to do. They're just going to start highlighting riddles.
That's fair.
I need to stop saying things on stream because I'm giving them ideas. But
Just make you redeem riddles.
I'm just gonna be sitting there. I'm like, why am I sweating? Chat makes my brain hurt.
I like your meme war idea. I haven't seen people do that
Yeah.
before.
I don't even know how we came up with it. I think what it was is everybody was posting a bunch of memes, and mm-mm, mm-mm, that's emotional, mental, and physical damage right there. Skill recommended: Dark Souls plus riddles plus the reverse. If you so Tricky has another riddle. If you drop me, I'm sure to crack, but give me a smile and I'll always smile back. What am I? Oh, I know this one. That's an easy one.
It's a mirror.
It's either a mirror or it's a egg.
Where would it be an egg?
Sunny side up. I don't know. Maybe it's a mirror. Now I'm thinking about
Is
it's
it
probably a
an
mirror.
Is it an egg or a mirror?
Yeah, now I want to know: is it an egg or a mirror? Because I'm thinking like when
No,
you.
because if you give it a smile, it always smiles back.
Okay, yeah, it's a mirror then.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought egg. Because I thought sunny
You're
side
like,
up.
you're like, this is easy. It's an egg. Hi, GTK.
It's a mirror, yeah.
It's a mirror.
Is that bean going to the bean mall?
Yeah.
Skill egg smile back.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
he's like
I
sunny side up. Well, that's not a smile. You put bacon to make it smile.
Yeah, I thought about it after that. Oh no.
Goldfish, the snack that smiles.
Oh no, I
back.
thought Sev, you said that was going to be your second and last riddle. Okay,
They're
all
just
right,
wanting to
Sev.
riddle us.
Sev, give it to me at like a preschool level. Sev, it's never over. I like how I ask chat for questions and they just start throwing riddles at
Like,
us.
all right, riddle me this, Batman.
What do you call a old snowman? A puddle?
Condensation?
Tricky. I mean, it is a question.
Yeah. You asked them for questions and they gave you riddles. Water. We were both
Water.
right.
Oh yeah.
Puddle, condensation.
Yeah.
What do you call
Oh
two?
no.
No, we're not gonna.
Yeah, not
I know
going
what
that
this
route,
is.
Kong.
Kong. I know the answer to this one, but it's not. Let's not. Here's mine. A man calls his dog from the opposite side of the river. The dog crosses the river without getting wet and without using a bridge or a boat. How?
So like, I want to say like the dog is on the same bank and they're referring to like away, but I don't know if that. Yeah, like is the river dry?
Could step across on some.
The man
stone.
became the. Even chat's trying to figure that one out.
The man became the bridge.
I'm just going. I'm going. My final answer is going to be jetpack, and I'm staying with it.
Jetpack.
Nope, it's a river, but. Oh no.
Odd one out. I see you lurking, by the way.
Then Kong's asking, what is the richest fish in the sea? You called Odd One and they threw the LOL. Thank you for the first time chat, Odd One. Hope you enjoyed the stream.
I saw you lurking.
His skill traveled hundreds of miles to go around the river.
Good morning.
Said goldfish.
This is a 50 cal stream. He was interviewing me for, he does like these like episode segment stuff, so it's been fun. Want a Family Feud question?
Okay.
I love this.
Okay, let's hit us with the Family Feud question, Kong. As long as it's appropriate.
Did you give up? That's the Family Feud question. Yes. Oh, we did give up. We did give up. I thought you just meant in general, have I given up? The answer is yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, are we talking about life or are we talking about the riddle?
The river was frozen! Damn it.
Damn, that was such an easy solution, too.
And you're over here saying jetpack.
Tricky should have known I gave up when I said my answer's jetpack. I'm staying with it.
Sausage.
Oh man.
Okay, but like the river being dry could have worked too. Yeah.
The answer. Okay, what was the question? What happened to the Italian chef? Do I know what happened to the Italian chef? I don't even know what direction this question is trying to go. Cause like, was he murdered?
Right.
Did he become the pasta? Did he get linguini'd? When linguini turns into a verb, you know it's gone bad. Hint dead. Oh.
What do you call an Italian mom? Let's ask questions that don't have to do with.
Yeah, Con, start getting off of that. Oh, okay, that one wasn't that bad. A Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Cog's questions are so open-ended. You're like, Cog, bring it down a notch. Oh, I'm trying to figure out what like.
He passed away.
Oh my! I feel like a failure of a dad. I should have seen that dad joke coming.
I love dad jokes. I told a dad joke yesterday in my Discord, and people were mad about it.
Okay, I got a question for you guys. What shoes do ninjas wear?
Oh, I think I know this one.
Sneakers.
Oh, damn it. I was like, why do I want to say Nikes?
Nikes and Nikes. They be repping the brand name.
Just do it.
Oh man. Chat is killing me. Chat is always killing me though. I don't know how many times I've gotten into a coughing fit. The skill, I was going to say Nike too.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I've heard it before, and it was sneakers, and I just imagined them in Nikes. You saw nothing.
Oh man. But yeah. So yeah, since we are coming a bit to a close, do you have anything that you want to plug, Bish? What's your thing right now?
What you mean, like my channel? So, I stream Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I also just started a podcast. It's kind of slice of life. I'm obviously a psychology major. I have a friend who is transgender, and then I have another friend who's polyamorous. And we just talk about our lives because we have three completely different outlooks and takes. You know, I'm she, her pronouns, they, them pronouns, he, him pronouns. So it's just really interesting to hear us kind of like all tell, different stories. We're all very funny and it's just a really fun podcast. So I do that on Thursdays, on a different channel. And then my Twitch, I obviously do the mental health stream every Sunday. Mondays and Tuesdays, I usually play Destiny 2. I'm not streaming this evening because I decided to focus my time and attention on this today. And then tomorrow I'll be streaming, and I stream about 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. So to give you an idea, right now it's 12 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I usually go live about an hour before right now. And on Wednesdays I do community game nights. So you found me, I think last week or the week before, playing.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, we were playing some Kukuro and we looked up and saw the flying potato. I was like, ooh, I gotta click on that. But yeah. Oh, Meme War has started. There is one meme in here already.
Oh, thank you, Skill. I'll be excited to see you. And I'm not always a potato, so if you hop in stream and I'm in normal human being form,
don't get scared.
Don't get scared. I don't mean to catfish anybody, but I'm not a potato. I'm a person.
I promise, I'm a person. I'm real.
I'm a human being, not just a cute potato bean. What do you call a belt with a clock on it? Um, a waist watch?
Wait.
Like wristwatch? But a waist watch?
Yeah, that's the only
Maybe?
thing I can think of is like waist watch. Clock bell.
You got my expectations
A
too
waste
high.
of
I'm
time.
sorry. A waste of time. Damn it. I'm sorry. I'm not always a potato. Sometimes I'm a sexy set of peas too.
Okay, Tricky is asking both of us if we have played Tetris.
Not well.
Basically the same answer. I've played it before. I have no problem playing it. If you guys are interested in me playing Tetris, it's a
What game have you
pickle.
what game have you never played that you'd think about playing?
Oh, what
What
game
is
have I never
this?
played that I think about playing? I mean, there's a few. One of the ones I really want to play right now, but I don't have the capability to, is
Uh-huh.
Phasmophobia. That one just looks like a lot of fun to play. Uh, there's a
Phasmophobia
Tetr
is really fun.
Tetch.io. I'll have to look into that. Tricky, if you can, will you please put that in the game recommendations on my Discord, and I'll look into that when I get a second.
You want to know where you can listen to my podcast? Oh, yeah. Let me give you the link to my podcast. If you'd
That
like
Cheeto
to,
is creepy. Oh man.
it's called the Podcast Against Humanity, and we have a YouTube and we live stream on Twitch. But here shortly after we've got our editing down pat, we're going to start featuring our content on like Spotify and anywhere else you can find
Nice.
podcasts. But right now we are just on Twitch and YouTube until we figure out exactly how we want to edit stuff, like with all the like sounds and do we want an intro song and all those shenanigans. So there's my podcast right there. And it's the Pod Against Humanity, and or also known as the Human Centipede Podcast.
Oh. I wasn't ready for that one.
Shenanigans. I just be throwing curveballs at you. Yay! Okay, I'm so excited! All our new friends. We're smashing communities, rubbing our community bits together and hoping for a new
Community baby? Question mark.
community baby. Yeah.
Skill. I'm just vibing with this.
Sorry.
Oh, and also, if because I know you have your podcast, if you're looking for a guest at any point, I am totally down with jumping on the podcast and having some fun. Or if you want to do something like this on your channel, I am totally down with doing that if the
Yeah,
opportunity comes up in the future.
absolutely. My channel's always kind of been free form in the
Yeah.
sense that like everybody's like always in the VC whenever I'm live.
Hmm.
So I never really like have a specific guest on. I usually just like people come and they know that, they're always welcome to
Hmm.
talk and stuff. But definitely I'll let the people who run the podcast with me know and we'll I got Gladys voice stuck in my head now.
From Portal.
I'm not going to follow the podcast, but GTK, okay. GTK's like, I'm done. I'm not following.
So, a little bit about me because I do know we got a bunch of new people in here. So I'm 50 Cal. I'm a variety streamer. I stream Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I take 2 days off for just mental health and relaxation. Also, fighting computers when they decide to not work. but
That's fair.
but yeah, Sundays we do Switch exclusives. That's my Switch Sunday. So if it's an exclusive to the Switch, we'll play it. Mondays are just chatting, so that's why we do Next Level today. Uh, Wednesday is my community day, so we'll play. Right now, we've been playing Kukuro because that's really the only one that's been stable. The rest don't like me right now, mainly because I don't have a gaming PC strong enough to. I don't have a PC strong enough to run them and chat.
You
But
should do like Jackbox games. You can
yeah,
download
yeah,
them on.
definitely, definitely going to look into some Jackbox games because those are a lot of fun. So yeah, that'll probably be
Marbles
my
on Stream is cool too.
Marbles on Stream is just slightly slow enough where it makes it a pain on my computer.
Oh.
Yeah, sadly, I looked into it and just it's just too slow. But yeah, we do community games on Wednesdays. Thursdays, I do Throwback Thursdays, so I play either retro games or games inspired by retro games. So like the pixel art graphics and stuff like that. Definitely a good time for like a lot of indie games and stuff like that because a lot of the indie developers use pixel art. Fridays, that's our just throw it at the wall and see what sticks day. But basically, we're playing whatever chat is feeling or whatever I'm feeling that week. A couple weeks ago, we played Dark Souls. Chat just basically tortured me for 3 hours and laughed at me while I cried because I can't play the game. We played that. We attempted to play some Halo and some Deep Rock last week, but it my stream started stuttering and just going chaotic, so we ended up having to call it an early night. But because I'm too scared to play horror on Fridays. I'm not too scared to play horror on Fridays. I wasn't really getting into the horror games and I didn't want to be ungenuine on my stream because I just they were too slow for me. I'm like I want to kill something. I don't want to hide from it. I want to kill it.
Oh
And
goodness.
but no, again, I will play horror games on Fridays if we're feeling it. In Silence would be a great horror game. I think I've heard of that one. There's one, I don't remember the name of the game, but it uses your microphone and you're like a bat. The only way you see the level is through sonar. So you have to speak into your microphone and it sends like little shock waves out to see your map. Other than that, it's a black screen, but there's a thing hunting you based off your voice.
Oh jeez.
So
That's
it's like anxiety overload because
what is that called?
I don't know the name of it. Oh it's I don't know the name of it, but it looks stressful. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could probably look up like voice horror. I don't know. I don't know what to Google for that one, but yeah, I saw like a quick blurb of it, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" Actually, I saw it, and I messaged my buddy who was streaming it because I was like, "Dude, you need to play this." I'll look
Right?
through it and I'll look through it and I'll send you it once I find it. I have to scroll back through a lot of text.
Oh jeez.
but but yeah, I saw that and I thought it'd be fun. But but yeah, I will play some horror games, but just I personally wasn't really getting into it, or at least the one I was playing. So I just decided to change it up and make it my funky. What was it? Funky Fun Friday or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, when Cuphead. Oh my! Everyone's asking me to play Cuphead. I've played Cuphead. I had to pet my eyebrows for a second. Um, yes, I will play Cuphead for you guys if you guys want, and if my stream is being friendly, I will play Cuphead
I
this
couldn't
Friday.
do Cuphead. It's too much platforming. I'm not good at platforming.
uh, but yeah, so yeah, Friday's our community day, and then yeah, that's it for the week. So yeah, I try to keep my schedule as up to date as I can. Normally, the one that changes is the Friday, so you might see a different game on there. But
Mm-hmm.
most of them, the titles and stuff stay the same for the most part because it's just kind of like the theme for the day. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I do on my channel. And then occasionally when I get a fun guest, we will be doing the next level on generally on Mondays as long as it works out for the guest schedule. So so yeah, stay tuned because there's definitely going to be a lot more episodes of Next Level coming out soon. And I think it would be fun to eventually migrate over to a podcast version of Next Level, uh, so we can have some fun with that and spread it to other platforms.
Exciting.
But
New
yeah,
meme more word? Didn't we already decide that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're just catching everybody up.
It's milk sauce.
Milk sauce.
Or what? It has to have sauce or milk in it. That's the meme word.
Yeah, the one meme, it was like the meme template was like the note pass and then like the angry face. And the words on it was cheese sauce is basically sauce made from off milk.
I'm gonna be
So
looking up some tonight, and I'm gonna be posting them. And y'all
so
better vote for mine.
as of current, the only vote we have right now for the table, and it's oh man. So the it's a video that Kong posted. I guess it's a meme because it has words on it. It says, "Oh no, our table is broken," and it's these. I think it's kids stacking bricks on a table, and then the table just implodes on itself. Oh yeah, yeah. I have a Kukuro channel as well, and that's where all the crazy Kukuro stuff goes. My chat making fun of my delay for Kukuro.
I'm looking at memes. I just googled sauce memes. Some of them aren't good.
Yeah, that's why I was like, milk sauce is a very internet triggering word. Triggering. That's not math. But so as of current, the winner of the meme war is Viet Cong flashback 1960 with their table implosion.
Nice.
But yeah, with that, I think our stream is coming to a close. Thank you again, Bish, for agreeing to come on as my guest tonight. It was a lot of fun, and after seeing your stream, I was like, "Yep, I need that potato on my stream."
Aw. Well, thank
But yeah,
you.
it was definitely good, and I feel like we got a lot of good conversation out of tonight, and learned a bunch about you and your community and kind of what drives you to stream.
Well, I really enjoyed being on and talking to you and meeting everybody. Do they have to be original memes?
No, no, they don't have to be any meme.
Any memes?
Yeah.
Well, and all the snack packs who showed up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Odd one out. I love you. Tell Superficial said hello. JTK's Alexon rise at the end of the line. You sweet beans. Thank you for being here for this special episode.
Skill says you're the one potato she wouldn't fry.
Aw, you're so sweet to me. Damn, I'm blushing in potato.
Blushing in potato.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh. Can I get a sauce?
Can I get sauce? That's not my only super show. I'll be posting all kinds in there. I just
Oh,
saw
man.
that one while I was Googling. And I just thought it was funny. Can I get sauce?
But yeah, definitely is greatly appreciated having you come in, and I actually feel like I learned a lot more about like mental health and stuff like that from talking to you. There's a lot of things that you brought up that I didn't know, like the like women not being diagnosed early on when they have like ADHD. I didn't even know that was a thing, but after talking to you, it makes sense now why they didn't.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm crazy.
Because I'm crazy.
Shit! Hi. um, are we rating? Do you rate after these?
um, I don't even know if I have anybody that I follow that is up right now.
I have a suggestion if you'd like to go.
Ooh, okay. What is this? What is the suggestion?
So his name is Diamonds, and
Is that
he's
spelled like
short.
normal diamonds?
No, I'll post the link in
Okay.
chat.
So
There
I'm
it
looking it up
is.
on my iPad right now. Oh wow,
He's
that I
great.
was not going to even remotely guess that.
Yeah, I think you'd really like him. Maybe get to know him and have him as one of your guests. He's fantastic. He's super smart.
Yeah, I'm always looking for. I'm always looking into new channels. There's a lot of people that spell diamond that way.
It's like diamonds, but in password form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is? Okay, I'm going to go to your channel.
Oh, thank you, Yolly Lolly.
I'm going to go
Glad
to
you
your
had
channel and try and route from there.
Oh, you didn't get the link in the chat?
No, I have the link in chat. I'm just trying to. I'm side looking up on my iPad just to pull it up, but yeah, because I pulled up on the side so when I do my jump I don't lose the video.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah. Um. There it is.
Yeah, he's great. I think you'll really like him.
All right.
We're talking about communities and stuff.
Okay. I got it up. I'm just on the ad because I'm not a follower or subscriber yet. But yeah, so while we wait for all that stuff, thank you everybody for coming out. I hope you guys had some fun tonight. I know I did, getting to know Bish, and shout out to the snack pack for those of you guys in my chat. You guys are awesome. You're a fun community. I got to hang out with you guys a few times, jumping in on Bish's stream just to say hi. But yeah, definitely for those of you who came, thank you for coming. I hope you guys enjoyed my stream. If you like what you saw, make sure you hit that follow button so you can get notified next time I go live, and we can hang out and grow our communities together. And then same thing for you guys with the Cow Squad. It's fun to say that now because we actually have a name.
Cow Squad.
Cow Squad. Hashtag Cow Squad. Hashtag.
It sounds like you're saying cow squad, and I'm obsessed.
But yeah, for the Cow Squad, that's so fun to say. Oh, okay, yeah, for the Cow Squad, definitely send some follows to Bishpuddin. If you guys haven't done so already, I know a few of you guys have already jumped in her streams, or you guys were there when I raided. But if you haven't yet, definitely send some follows to Bishpuddin because her stream is fun. It's very chaotic. If you like a chaotic stream, which I know you guys do.
Oh, we love chaos.
Yeah.
We love chaos.
Yeah, Bish's stream thrives off chaos as well, so you guys will fit in just well. But yeah, let's go ahead and raid out diamonds.
Diamonds.
All right. And that is D14. Is that a 0?
Yes.
0 and D5. I think that's why I didn't come up when I looked it up. I typed out diamonds with an O. All right. Raid being sent in 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Ayo. Ayo.
But it takes a second, so love you guys. I hope it doesn't run away while I'm talking, but you guys are awesome. Thank you again for coming. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm running up on the clock. But yes, we are going to have some fun. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, everyone. All right, and raid out.
Fifty cows. Wings.
50K? Are you doing 50K all streams? What's up? It's Chris Brennan. Me too. How you doing? Oh, would you mind doing another shout out for me? Hey, thanks for coming over here, Tricky Crowd
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off the Zoom call so we can.
Yep. Have a good day. Thank you for hanging out with